Man, that song gets me every single time. But what's up?
As do
What's
I.
up? On a Friday night, we're back at it again. We already got 20 people watching, man. Thank you guys so much for joining them. They knew how we stood all off season. If you didn't, if you're brand new here, I'm Zion Zenith. That's Adam Costas. Our fellow co-host Mac the Giants fan is doing a stream right now with another Big Blue crew member, Alex, Big Blue in the Bronx. Make sure to go show them some love as well. But that being said, guys, he's probably gonna appear after the draft if they do have enough time. But it's me and Adam. We're gonna hold it down. If you're new here, you probably if you're returning, you're probably returning for a reason because you kind of felt you kind of know how we felt the whole offseason, being that we thought the Giants was putting themselves in a position to take a quarterback. But before we get into that, we have a lot to get into. But all the new users, if you're new here, joining the family for the first time, please hit that subscribe button if you like what you guys see today. If you don't, it's okay. If you and then hit that like button as well. Turn that bell on for you to get notified for you don't miss the video. So we have a lot to get to. We're gonna cover the NFL draft. We're also gonna get into the NBA playoffs. As you guys know, I'm a Miami Heat fan. We tied the series with Boston. I know Sixers got the Knicks yesterday. I know the Knicks fans ain't too happy about that. How that went down. And then you got the Denver Nuggets totally messing them up, messing the Lakers up. But we're going to get into the playoffs a little bit later. But I've been holding on to the mic. I'm going to introduce my co-host, which is Adam Costas. Adam, I know how your day's going, but I'm going to ask you anyways, how's your day going after the Giants did not take a quarterback in the first round, which you thought they was going to?
I think I've gone through the 3 stages of grieving, or whatever
Okay.
they say, 7 stages. I thought they were taking a quarterback. They did all this work, and it's really because I know people are going to come at me, and that's fine. The battle's not over yet. I'm just here to regroup. It took me a little while. I realized, I can't be that guy anymore. Can't be that mope that's moping around because we didn't get a quarterback. It's time to regroup, reanalyze, re-strategize, and get back out there for next year. I'm on this island. I'm going to stay on this island. And I don't think the Giants did the correct thing in my eyes. I think they did the safest pick, but do I believe it's the correct pick? I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because I feel like this move is more of, and don't get me wrong, Malik Nabers is going to be a beast. I think he's going to be more Garrett Wilson to start as we get rid of Daniel Jones. And then when we actually get a quarterback in here that can play, you're going to see him be like CeeDee Lamb, that type of receiver, hopefully going forward. I'm not going to try to read a guy's body language, but you can tell that he's going to be an alpha male, and he's going to come in, he's going to command the room, and he's going to basically. You thought Kenny Galladay yelling on the sideline was bad? Well, guess what? This kid's going to do that. It may not be year 1, it may not be game 1, but he did it to Jaden Daniels. And when you don't pronounce your quarterback's name going forward right now, it's hard to kind of have respect for that person right away. So he's going to be an alpha male. And there's something that is sad. Waller did retire today. So not only did we lose 2 playmakers.
That's something I missed. So Waller retired. Okay.
So think about this.
Thanks, Waller, for letting us know early. I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize this team, not like he did. Well, but you basically could have retired before free agency. But thank you, Waller. We appreciate your services. Continue, Adam.
Right. Well, he might be going through some stuff, but if you're not committed,
mental stuff.
If you're not committed to going through it, well, then you need to let people know, right? Say, hey, I don't know if I'm ready to do this, and just be,
absolutely.
We already saw that he had we already said had 1 foot out the door, it seemed, and so for me, that leaves you left 2 playmakers walk. Okay, you have Barkley gone, Waller gone, and all you returned was Nabers. So, and that's a net negative in my eyes. As much as Nabers is going to be probably spectacular or box office like Odell was, Odell didn't win as many games when he was here. We went to 1 playoff appearance with him as well. So while I like the pick and I think he's going to be fun and I think he's going to be, tune into a gloomy season, I really hope Drew Lock's a starter, but we'll get into that in a minute. I just believe, I believe the motion, if you didn't want to go get your quarterback, because there were rumors that were going to get Drake May, the deal was sealed, and then obviously things fall through at the last minute. Now there's details where they're going to give them the first round pick and their second round pick this year. And this, I'm like, listen, man, if you really wanted to go get him, you would have moved heaven and earth to go get him. So, I think it was one of those things where one, I don't like the process. You shouldn't go into a process where you like one quarterback, but you go and scout 6. Like, you scouted 7 quarterbacks, and 6 of them went in the first round. 6 went in the first round. 6 in the first 12 picks. That is insane.
6, yeah. That is absolutely insane. And I don't know if you was done with your point, but basically, this show is going to be about majority of, cover the NFL draft. We will get into the Giants drafting Malik Nabers, and I love that. I love that intro by Adam, covering his point of grief, because I was pretty pissed off. This morning, but at the end of the day, we're still mad. But at the end of the day, we're going to get more into depth with Malik Nabers throughout the show. But we're just going to cover the first 5 picks before he landed to us at pick 6. That being said, though, I did text the group chat that I have with Mac, the Giants fans, and Adam, and I did say, I am pretty pissed off because New York Giants football is going to be kind of hard to watch with Daniel Jones as the quarterback this season, and I get it. Even if he did take a quarterback, Daniel Jones would have been the quarterback still. But at the end of the day, this quarterback room just needs help, and I think we're one injury away from having just a terrible football on the field. You know what I'm saying? And I say that with all due respect to the draft pick that is Malik Nabers, because I do believe Malik Nabers is the yak of this draft. Like, he is the receiver where you pass it, Daniel, please just throw it 5 yards. This guy makes this guy miss, and he's off to 80. So at the end of the day, Daniel Jones would not.
He's going to be like Saquon Barkley.
Have to do so much.
I'm just saying.
Then again, I do want to talk about Malik Nabers so badly, but we're gonna get to him. Let's start it off with Caleb Williams. You don't have to say too much. I am going to be following the Bears super closely this draft because I'm a SC fan. You know what I'm saying? And they have a team that is just being built that I'm super excited about. And obviously, I told the boys that I'm gonna buy me a 13 Chicago Bears jersey. I'm gonna get me a Chicago hat. But at the end of the day, I'm still a Giants fan, but I'm really, really excited about the Bears. They're like my Lions. I was excited about the Lions 2 years ago, and the Lions are actually coming through. The Bears, they're gonna come through with Caleb Williams, I do believe. Jaden Daniels to the Washington Commanders. I'm gonna let my co-host Adam pick this one up. Adam, how did you feel about Jaden Daniels to the Washington Commanders?
I thought Jaden Daniels to Washington was pretty good move. I mean,
and please touch on Caleb Williams if you want to.
Caleb Williams is interesting. We knew the pick. There's some background video going around with polls calling him, and they're saying we've been waiting for this for months and things like that. So it's just finally ripping the Band-Aid off. I think he'll have fun down there. They're building a solid team for him, and that's why in this day and age, I don't want to hear about not being able to build a team for rookie quarterback, because you can do it out the gate. Out the gate, you can do it.
We're going to cover a lot of that points when we get to our pick at 6.
You don't need to worry about everything right away. If you shop correctly, you can do it. I mean, they have DJ Moore, they got Keenan Allen. Now they have Caleb Williams. They have Cole Clement. They have a solid offensive line, and then they have
just got Rome,
right, and they got Rome Odunze. So you've got 3 receivers. Probably play Allen in the slot, DJ Moore on the outside, or DJ Moore in the slot. And you have Rome Odunze, who you can move around. They have a lot of stuff going for them right now, and I think the Bears are headed in the right direction.
Friday, Daniel. Happy Friday. Premium tickets right here, Daniel. We have to get badges. We have to get memberships soon when we get monetized and all that kind of stuff. We're going to do fun stuff eventually down the line, guys. But go ahead, continue. But thank you so much, Daniel.
Well, Caleb, I mean, they needed a franchise mover. They got their franchise mover, and they're, whether or not they compete, that team, was scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of the season, they had a chance to knock the Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs, which kind of could have determined Justin Fields' fate. Had he won that game, they might have been down a few more spots. They might have kept him. Who knows what would have happened? But they didn't, and they ended up. Panthers ended up sucking, and they got that pick. They look like a genius now, right? If this hits, Ryan Poles, who looked like an idiot, looked like a genius. But see what Poles did. Is
8
probably
picks away from the Giants picks. The Lions pick is in.
is probably what we should have done. So you said the Giants pick is in?
No, I'm sorry. The Lions pick is in, and I'm just calculating.
Lions.
We'll be eight picks away from the Giants.
Okay, we'll probably be able to
we'll let you guys.
But anyways,
we'll pause and talk about
so
that pick too.
Caleb Williams, Bears, good fit. Roman Dinze right there. I think you're off to a good start. They'll at least be competitive in that in the North. I don't know if they're going to be able to jump Green Bay or jump the Lions. Even Minnesota is going to be competitive. That division looks like it's locked and loaded. For the next few years, the elder statesman of the group now is Jared Goff, right? 29 years old. And then you got
like 86,000 people chanting his name. 86,000 fans, probably Lions fans. All you see is 150 people. At least 86,000 of them is Lions fans.
Right. So you got Jared Goff there. You got Jordan Love now, and then you have JJ McCarthy and Caleb Williams in that division. That division is one of those divisions you're going to have to start watching now because they got a lot of young talent going there. But as for Washington, I think they did a good job. They got the franchise quarterback. It was a toss-up between him and Drake May, and I think this is the guy they really wanted. He's very, very good dual-threat quarterback. I like him a lot. I think his running ability helps you tilt the field a little bit more, and it kind of plays into a game where at the end of the game you have to worry about that. That's another element you need to worry about. We've seen it with Lamar Jackson. We've seen it with Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, guys like that. Doesn't mean that he can't pass because the kid can throw. He was a Heisman Trophy winner for his passing at 3,800 yards, and then he had like over 4,000 yards with the rushing included. He had a great year. So, and he had a meteoric rise like Joe Burrow. He's going into a team where the Commanders are building a team, folks. I'm sorry to say that if you're in the NFC East, they're building a team.
I love what they're putting together. Absolutely.
They got linebackers that they brought over. I think I don't know if it wasn't Eric Hendricks. It was somebody else they brought over with Jamon David. They just got another corner in this draft. They just got a tight end in this draft. Okay, they got a receiver somewhere along the lines. They're going to pick one of those up. They're going places. They're just going places. They got Cam Akers that they brought in, as the running back. They have Dan Quinn who understands defense. So they may not be like great out the gate, but I expect a feisty, hard-working football team. And
they're going to be a team that like you better not go and overlook the Commanders.
Dan Quinn will have you ready to go.
Yeah.
Remember, he is the inventor of the Legion of Boom and then ended up going to Atlanta as well and getting them to a Super Bowl. So I think that works for them. And then we come to the pick number 3.
Yeah, let's touch on Drake May to the Patriots. Now I'm gonna say this real fast. Now the Giants, like they go do their work on all these quarterbacks, right? And Adam kind of touched a little bit on this as well. As the 49ers are on the clock, we'll give you guys Ravens pick here in a minute. Pick is in. That being said, though, we have a chance to go and really get a quarterback that we do like. Now, if I'm the Giants, I do want to say how much do you really love Drake May? Because if they really loved Drake May, they would go and trade the house to get there and get him. And that's why I feel like they didn't, they say they loved him, but I don't think they loved him that much because of the fact that I don't think, maybe in another draft where your Caleb Williams and your Jaden Daniels doesn't go before Drake May, and this is like the number one clear-cut quarterback, then maybe do you risk multiple, I'm talking 3+ first-round selections. It all comes down to what the Patriots wanted, right? Because rumors have it that the Giants offered this year's number 1, next year's number 1, and I think a number 3. But the Patriots wanted the year after that as well. So that's where I kind of, as a Giants fan, I'm mad at the situation and how we got it. Like I said, again, not mad at Malik Nabers, but knew we had a chance to go and get our quarterback of the future in a Drake May. Obviously, now we know that the Giants didn't feel highly on Michael Penix or JJ McCourtney. But, for them to really sit down and really be like, hey, guys, do we really go and we trade 3 number 1 picks? What's up, Miz? 3 number 1 picks to go and move up for a guy that is clearly 2 quarterbacks got selected before him. And that's what that's why I really really think that's the reason why we didn't land Drake May. I think, if they really loved him and Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels maybe wasn't in front of him and he was the clear cut number one, then you go and get him. And even at that point, if they want 3 picks, it's like, damn, not that much more. Then you can move up to number one and just get Caleb Williams, regardless on how the Bears feel about him. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear your thoughts on Drake May landing with the Patriots. And obviously, if you're the Giants, would you have made that extra 2026 pick along with the 2025 and this year to go get Drake May? And would you make that if with your analysis of Drake May in the offseason?
Well, before that, the Baltimore Ravens keep getting linemen. They got an offensive lineman just now. That's just crazy. That team, the rich get richer, as they say.
Yep.
In terms of linemen. But as far as Drake May goes, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks in this draft. I really was hoping the Giants would get him. At one point in the process, he was his stock was lowering, and I think, some people put some rumors out. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants were that team that kind of leaked him. And so it's just hard. It was hard for me to hear all this news because it meant and dawning of a new era. And what it's funny because what does that say about them liking Daniel Jones? Like whether or not it was a last-ditch effort, right? Regardless, you went up and tried to get a quarterback, right? You tried. So on the one hand, I believe they should have given up more or tried to. But if the ownership was like going to kibosh the trade anyways, the Giants wouldn't have mattered, right? But if they weren't, and if the Giants weren't, and like, the owner gets the final say. If he's like, if they wanted McCarthy and he wanted May, they probably would have made the deal. But because McCarthy ended up slipping to the Giants at 6 anyways, but that's the story for another day. My point is, I think I don't know what the Patriots are going to do. I don't know how they're going to build around him, but I liked him as a prospect. I'm going to follow him in the Patriots.
You saw that they sit him for a year. Let I forget his name, the homie that used to be there but came back, Kobe Passett. Let him play around with the offense that literally has no ribbons for him, and then eventually down the line, kind of do what me and you kind of envisioned the Giants to do with him. Rather than him beating out Daniel Jones, well, obviously he's not in, and that's another universe. But at the end of the day, Drake May goes to the Patriots. Let's kind of I kind of want to talk about Malik Nabers.
Really try.
Yeah, that's true. To the Chargers, I mean, like we can literally Marvin Harrison. We all kind of predicted him going to the Cardinals. There's really not much to say about that. But we have Joe. Oh, like this is what kind of pissed me off here. Nothing against Jim, and I kind of predicted that Jim will go this early on in my draft process. And later on, I looked at the receiving depth, and I'm like, whoa, this guy has nobody to throw the ball to. He's got to take Malik Nabers. Like, come on, Jim. You got to take. And then Jim stays to his morals. And why would Jim break at this age? He's Jim. He just won a national championship. And he said, I'm going to go take my O-line, which we all know Jim loves. You know what I'm saying? He can't get enough, which is amazing. And every coach should think about, always taking the O-line and the O-line that count. Because Joe Oat is literally a Pro Bowler. He has – I just said it. He has high ceiling, 10 years in the league type of player, Andrew Thomas type of player. And I believe as much as I wanted quarterback, I would have still been upset, but I would have understood if Joe Alt was to fall to us, even though that was I would say 20% of the fan base. And then there was a 40-40 split between wide receiver and quarterback on how we fought as Giant fans. I wouldn't have been mad getting Joe Alt, but as San Diego was there, as Los Angeles Chargers was there, as Los Angeles Chargers was there, I want Riddler too. I want Riddler too. And another quarterback is still there as well from Tulane, Pitt or whatever his name is. But that being said, though, I was like clutching my pillow. I'm like, bro, take Malik Nabers. And then Jim does it again. And like He loves his big guys, and an excellent pick for the Chargers. You can't complain. Justin Herbert is absolutely probably gonna love this pick in the long run. What's your thoughts on that, Joe? To the Chargers.
Well, I mean that's Jim Harbaugh's MO. He's going to run the football, run the football, run the football. I mean, he had a star quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, and that guy took a back seat to his running game. I think he's going to do something similar to how he built San Francisco. The only difference is his quarterback will be a little bit better passer than a runner, right? And he's got to build a running game because his quarterback is not there. And it was kind of funny. Someone called me the other day saying that he had a crazy idea saying the Chargers would trade the Justin Herbert to whomever so they could probably
draft JJ
to and then draft JJ McCarthy. I was like, wow, that would be one of the weirdest things ever, but I don't think it would happen. He was like, oh no, it's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna happen. I'm like, well, I hope they're on the phone with the Giants because that would be great. But I think Joel fits what Jim Harbaugh wants to do. And obviously they're going to be a run-first team, probably deep play action, old school. They're probably going to be an old school offense, a lot of deep throws.
Two-time first team All-American. Jesus. Continue.
What I'm just saying, like, they're going to be a lot. I think they're going to be a play action offense, meaning you're going to run downhill. Herbert throws a great deep ball. You're going to have those vertical guys. Quentin Johnson is better running down the field than he is running slant routes, so you can kind of open it up like that in that way. So I feel, he went with his MO. That's what he does. He's going to build the trenches. He's an old school guy. So
absolutely, guys. But before we get to Malik Nabers, I'm gonna extend it even more for you guys. As you guys are wondering, like you guys are probably sitting there like, damn, why don't you use NFL.com? But as you guys can see, I use CBS because we haven't seen any single ad pop up yet. So thank you for CBS. Now we do have ads at the very top. You get some Fallout, you get some Halo. But honestly,
listen. I put those ads on. Okay, that's what I do.
Sorry, that is Adam's job. But at the end of the day, we do get promotions for pretty good series like Fallout. So if you guys haven't watched that yet, it is a good series. And now the Giants are probably not going to have an opportunity to compete this season with Daniel Jones being the quarterback. I am probably going to cover the entertainment side of Zion Zenith. So be sure to. I'm going to self-plug some movie reviews. We're going to do TV show reviews. We're going to have fun at this channel, even though the Giants are going to suck. As we move on to Malik Nabers. Now I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to let Adam go, and we're going to have a conversation about it, a discussion about it, and we're not going to take up too much time on our turns because, like I said, guys, we're going to have a discussion. You guys know how I feel about, us wanting a quarterback. You guys know how I feel. You guys know how Adam feels about us wanting a quarterback and our reasons behind it, Yes, Malik Nabers, this is not a knock. This is not a knock on the kid. This is absolutely a great pick. One of the best players in this draft. Would have gone earlier in any other draft if there wasn't too much quarterbacks. If Harrison wasn't there, he would have gone before Harrison. But honestly, Harrison's 1A. This guy's 1B. His ability, his yak is basically going to make Daniel Jones look pretty decent out there. Like I said previously, you know what I'm saying? Tyler Newman, we're going to touch on him very good. I love that as well. We're going to touch on him. We're not going to really review the whole first round gang. We're basically going to, after Malik Nabers, we're going to dabble here and there and then move on to Tyler Newman and, of course, our third round pick, which we're going to pick here soon. But that being said, guys, with the wide receiver depth in this draft, I understand. I love Malik Nabers. I love his ability to make people miss going against top SEC receivers. You know what I'm saying? This kid is literally gonna have to for the Giants to really compete this season with Daniel Jones, is Malik Nabers better have a damn near amazing season, because at the end of the day, Daniel Jones literally does not need to do so much with this kid. At the beginning of this day, I woke up I'm gonna let Adam save his take. I don't want to steal anything from Adam, but me and Adam had a phone call this morning, and I woke up not feeling so good. Not in the way of sick, but just in the way I just didn't feel good. And that being said, this was on my mind a lot. It's damn, did we really go out there and take Malik Nabers? Out of I don't know what I did there, but I could have had a chance on getting a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show you that we didn't value these quarterbacks as much as we thought we did. And The reason why I don't like this pick is I like it. I'm okay with it, and this is a knock on not a knock on Malik Nabers, but this is a knock on the org is because it's like, yo, we didn't like a quarterback. We could have traded back and get more picks with this pick. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it, Malik Nabers, he comes in right now, he produces right now, but at the end of the day, don't we have a history? I'm not even trying to be I'm not knock on wood. I hope the guy doesn't get injured. But like at the end of the day, don't we have a history of bad turf? You know what I'm saying? Don't we have a history of our receivers coming in here and continue to get hurt? Didn't we try to give Daniel Jones every single receiver that known to mankind? I'm being really sarcastic, but didn't we bring in didn't we try with Kadarius Toney in the first round? Didn't we try with Hyatt? Didn't we try with Robertson in the second rounds? Didn't we go and bring in Kenny Galladay? Didn't we go and bring in Darren Waller? You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones, the problem is not the receiver. The problem is Daniel Jones, and that's why I'm really frustrated about, because Daniel Jones might run this kid to the ground as a rookie. And yeah, he's a rookie. And yeah, he can afford it. But at the end of the day, like I heard someone say, like, yes, this kid literally can go out there and literally take this team to the next level. And I can pull up Twitter, but I don't want to. But literally fans on Twitter was like literally posting Daniel Jones next to Malik Nabers, and they're like, who's gonna stop this? And I'm like, fucking the whole NFL basically. 31 other fucking teams, because there's no Saquon Barkley and we don't have a running game.
And no Darren Waller now.
Don't know Darren Waller, so we don't have a tight end, and we do have tight ends, but they can block. Should I say we don't have a receiving threat tight end? Nothing against Bellinger, but he's pretty slow. He's amazing, but he's pretty slow. He's not a receiving threat. You know what I'm saying? He can get us a third down, but it's just gonna, this kid's gonna be put under so much pressure in his first year, bro, and he's gonna single-handedly get double coverage. Single-handedly, people's gonna understand that we want to get it to Malik Nabers on a slant, on a fast route, and let the kid hit and miss and go. And we're gonna try to get it to higher deep. Yet alone, we don't have Barkley, so everybody's not gonna look at fucking us and like trying to run the ball that much. No knock on Singletary, no knock on him, but it's not like every time like we go and we try to get the ball to Malik Nabers. Yes, he's gonna have more than 15 targets a game. And how healthy is this kid's gonna stay? I understand that this kid is young. I understand. I'm not trying to wish injury upon him, but due to our history with our turf, even though it's updated, what happened to Aaron Rodgers last year? What the fuck happened to him? Didn't he come out and complain about the turf after he got injured? And we're gonna put all our hope into this kid to do what for us? To put us in a position where we're gonna have
to hope that the often injured quarterback. The often injured quarterback doesn't get injured, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't even touch on that. I'll let you touch on that because we're one quarterback away that's not even going to start the season. That's going to be Drew Lock starting the fucking season. Then he's going to come in and then play, probably get hurt. Then it's going to be Drew Lock finishing the fucking season. Okay, I would love to see Drew Lock as the fucking starter of this team. Give that kid a chance because you gave Daniel Jones 6 fucking years. People think that the problem is us hating Malik Nabers or us hating the wide receiver. We don't. It's the problem is we don't like the fucking quarterback. The quarterback is not gonna be able to. It's gonna be so painful to watch. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be watching Caleb Williams having a pretty decent season with the Chicago Bears, and Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense is gonna look way much funner to watch than the Giants offense. And people be like, you can't say that because Caleb Williams has a team, and you can't say that JJ is gonna make. I'm gonna say JJ's probably gonna make the playoffs with the Vikings, and people's gonna be like, well, JJ wouldn't have that if he came here. Well, maybe he would if he was to, learn under Brian Dable, and eventually maybe next year and the year after that, we got him a team. How did JJ Jefferson do? Huh? How did JJ Jefferson do in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to talk about these receivers leading the team. Yeah, I get it. These receivers are dogs. I get it. You need a dog receiver. But you also need a quarterback. And I get it. Daniel Jones, he's going to look better. He's going to have probably better numbers than fucking with Malik Nabers. But let alone, he doesn't have to beat his numbers by that much. I mean, like, he threw for more than 15 touchdowns once. One season.
They just get Malachi Corey.
Yep. for one season, Daniel Jones
pick.
threw for more than 15 touchdowns. And congratulations, because I could see
Great
Malik Nabers probably getting 8 to 10 touchdowns. I could see Malik Nabers breaking 1,000 yards. Congratulations, New York Giants. We have a 1,000-yard receiver. And okay, yay, congratulations, Giants. People say, like, we have a receiver. Yay, we have our X factor. Yay. It's about next year when we bring in the quarterback. We only have one season with Daniel Jones. It's about next year when we bring in the quarterback. Okay, guys, what if Daniel Jones has a fucking pretty mediocre year, a shitty year in our numbers, but a pretty mediocre year? So Daniel Jones goes for fucking maybe 27 touchdowns. Maybe he throws about 12 interceptions. And maybe we finish maybe in the top of the teams.
27 touchdowns. What are you smoking?
Yeah. That's a lot for that.
Oh my God.
Calm down.
He's got Malik Nabers there. It's not like he's going, oh my God. He's going to go from 15 touchdowns to 27.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Okay. You know what's going to happen? We're going to finish in the top teams. Adam. You know how much it costs to go from fucking 6 to 3 this year? 63 with 6 quarterbacks. Next year, there's like 2. Okay, wait, hold on. I'll give you 3 quarterbacks in the first round. Just let's slide someone in there. Okay, when we finish 15, let's try to move to go grab a quarterback next year. Let's go. You know what's going to happen? They'll be like, oh, but wait, well, let's just wait till next year. It's always extending it down the fucking road.
Yeah,
extending it down the road. And that's what I'm sick at. If you didn't like your quarterback, you could have traded back, acquired some extra picks, still get a flashy wide receiver, still get maybe some other helps, but yet I understand why you take Malik Nabers. I'm not, I'm not stupid, guys. I know how special Malik Nabers looks, but at the end of the day, I don't want to hold the mic. So Adam's gonna make probably way more better sense of this all. But go right ahead, Adam.
Well, first off, 27 touchdowns. That's a
Giving him 27 touchdowns. Yay! Yeah, fucking lucky if we get 20.
Oh God, that's
all he has to do is play 5 yards.
No,
5 yards.
I don't even.
Can he play 5 yards, guys? That is the question.
No, okay. Malachi Corey is not a bad pick by the Jets. He's actually pretty good. Steve Smith liked him. You just hate the
Brinson
Jets.
running back to Arizona out of Florida State.
Anyways,
Arizona.
I don't want to see Daniel Jones starting this team anymore. I'm done with it. I would rather see Drew Lock. Obviously, they're not going to probably do that. They're probably going to throw Daniel Jones out there. But my expectations for both the quarterback and receiver are: if you don't get 4,000 yards and at least 30 touchdowns, I don't want you on my fucking football team. I don't want to hear it. It's not a trash pick, man. Go. Many people like him. I'm serious. You just don't like the Jets. I'm sorry. But anyways, Malik Nabers is to me a win now move. I like Nabers. I think he's going to be a beast. It's funny. I just think it's funny. He's going to be an alpha. He's really going to either intimidate Jones or I'm just saying. Like,
GM, fucking reading him connecting his
yeah. I mean, like he did to the GM. He fucking stone cold gave him the stone cold face, bro. Stop your nonsense, bro. Stop your nonsense, bro.
Oh, you better stop, man.
No, just stop.
The Bears have a better fucking chance.
Look at this guy. He's back. He's back on his shit again.
We're not even going to talk about the Detroit Lions in San Francisco.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Now Miz is back to loving Jones.
The Washington Commanders have a better chance.
He just wanted Drake May 2 days ago.
Quarterback,
now
bro.
he wants fucking Jones. No, man.
Yeah, he's just trolling.
We're gonna go 11-6 against some of the best defenses in football. He can't even play that. Like he's not even that good in primetime football. Listen, I'm not trying to laugh at the kid, but
laugh at him.
Clearly, they were trying to make a move, and they settled on him.
Well, not Malik Nabers. Laugh at Daniel Jones. I'm sorry.
At some point, at some point, you listen, man. I want to believe that, but there's a lot of good teams out there that we're facing.
There's a lot of good teams.
The AFC North has got defenses that can destroy our offense.
Brandon Coleman to the Washington Commanders.
I mean,
it's still the same Daniel Jones. Don't let Malik Nabers suck you in, Miz. It's still the same fucking Daniel Jones. Like,
no.
That's why I'm saying all he has to do is
listen.
Hopefully, Malik Nabers is really that guy, right?
Look, you have nobody on the team right now. You have Darren Waller is gone. Saquon Barkley is gone. Singletary is not I'm not saying he's not a bad back. He's a solid back. He's a solid running back. He's a number 2. Right? Your offense is not flashy at all. You got some guys in Wandell Robinson and Jalen Hyatt, You know,
I understand that. I understand that.
Listen,
but it's still
there's one thing. There's one thing to be positive. There's one thing to be positive, and one thing to be overly like dramatic. Like, oh, Daniel Jones, like, give me a break. You know,
yeah, we do.
Like that. We have the worst. We have the worst
problem.
quarterback. We have the worst quarterback room in the entire NFL. And I'm supposed to believe that we're going to win games against the defenses.
We got a UFL quarterback fucking room, bro. Our room is the UFL quarterback room, bro.
But listen to who's coming in here right now. You got the AFC North with the Browns who have a championship defense, the Ravens who have a championship defense. Not to mention their offense is ridiculous, and they just got another lineman to go with their freaking ridiculous offense. Right? You've got Pittsburgh, who's just built up their offensive line, and now have a competent quarterback, and have a defense that's relentless. Okay, and then we have what? The Bengals. The Bengals have Joe Burrow, and we don't have a second corner, by the way. Okay, we don't have a second corner, by the way. Okay, I love the Turbin pick. It's going to be good to have a safety. He's probably going to start. You know, I'll give us 6 to 8 wins. That's where I think we're going to fall. 6 to 8 wins, and that's being generous.
7 to 8 wins. 6 wins.
Next year, if we have 7 to 8 wins, listen, I'm not even thinking Daniel Jones is going to finish the season. Okay, like that's my thing that works. And not gonna lie to you,
he's going to be on injury reserve. I don't know. Else would he be?
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Drew Lock has incentives in his contract for getting more money for starts and hitting yardage and things like that.
And I do have to say this, Adam. The hip hop fucking music, all these disses, bro. We got Chris Brown dissing Quavo. We got J. Cole going at it with Kendrick Lamar, man. You know, Drew Lock as a hip hop head might be inspired to come and have a great season.
Well, I hope that those hip hop battles move him and motivate him on the football field. All I'm saying is, Drew Lock didn't come in here to just be a backup. Okay.
More of a coast this evening. No.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Now we had our listen. I've done ranting. This team is helpless. It's rudderless. This team is. I mean, Joe Shane is an extension of fucking Dave Gettleman. I mean, with his picks, you know what I'm saying? It's like this is 2018 all over again, bro. Like, we had JJ McCarthy sit to us. We do homework on him. He goes onto the Rich Eisen show. Says, "Yeah, I think the Giants are going to pick me," and they sit there and they go, "Nope, we're going to run it back with Daniel Jones."
That's right. This motherfucker's a snitch. We can't pick him now.
Exactly. Who has 2 neck injuries and a fucking blown ACL. That's who we're going. And listen to this quarterback room, okay? Blown ACL, 2 neck injuries, a guy who can't hit the bars out of a bar. Our backup quarterback who couldn't even beat out Teddy Bridgewater or Geno Smith, okay? And now we have Tom DeVito who got benched in the season, and Joe Shane comes out and goes, "Second year in the system. Give me a break, Joe Shane. What are you trying to fucking pull the wool over my eyes? We saw the team last year. We saw what you did. This shit is funny, you know."
Let's see what happens here in the third.
But it was a dumb way of thinking, because you should not be all in on one guy. That is stupid.
That is so stupid.
That's so dumb. That first off, that to me tells me
the
worst part about that is? You know what the worst part about that is? Is 3 other guys went in the first round. JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., and Bo Nix. You saw all those motherfuckers, and you were saying, "Yep, you know what, Daniel Jones, we're good. 2 neck injuries, you know, a knee injury, we're cool." So, Miz, you're not going to – I don't care if they only like May. That is bad process. I'm sorry. That's a bad process to me. God. When everybody else, when Michael Penix Jr. can go to the top 10, we had him sitting on JJ. We had JJ McCarthy sitting there, and we had Bo Nix. All 3 of those guys. If 2 of those guys ball out like JJ McCarthy and Bo Nix, and we're sitting here struggling at 6 and 8 with our fucking shitty quarterback, how am I going to go, "Hey, Joe Shea, go pick the next quarterback, you fucking moron"? You know what I mean?
Guys, we got a 1,000-yard receiver though.
Look, the process was dumb. Okay, you shouldn't have one quarterback in mind. You should have. It's like when you buy a house. Do you stop buying a house because your house got fucking bought? The one you bought, like, oh no, you know, like that's the only one I want. I guess I'm not going to buy a house. No, you go there and you fucking you pivot to the next house. A guy I listened to in Twitter Space had a great. His name is Sal. They make a great show. Shout out to Sal, him and Monty. They make a podcast called
Shout out to Monty.
He's a Giant. It's a fantastic podcast that you guys should check out. And he made a joke that Joe Shane walked into I think it was a Mercedes dealership or a Ferrari dealership and said, "How much is that car? $150,000. I'll give you $40,000, sir. We need $150,000. $45,000. Sir, it's $150,000. I'll give you $50,000. That's my final offer." That was his rendition of what Joe Shane said to the Patriots on how it looked. Like, it's just funny. I mean, I want to give the guy credit. I'm not being fair. I don't get it. Doesn't. You can be fair all you want. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Barkley was the single best player in the draft, Miz. Barkley was the single best player in the draft. I've seen this song and dance before. Come on.
That's the thing, though. It's like, where's OBJ at? Where's OBJ at? Wait.
Exactly. We had OBJ.
Where's Kadarius Toney at?
By the way, the Giants have drafted two receivers in the first round in 4 years.
Malik Nabers, bro. It's Malik Nabers. It can't fail it. Malik Nabers.
Malik Nabers loves Daniel Jones so much he pronounced his name Daniel Jones.
Our fucking turf could be a villain in a fucking horror movie, bro.
I'm not trying to.
Our turf could be a villain in a horror movie, bro.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be like, I'm over the whole, like, we know Dan. I'm not going to sit here and defend him. I know what he is. He's not good. You can say what you want, and I think he's going to be a big reason why we're not going to be good next season. Because we were 1-5 when that guy started. We were 5-6 when he lost. So my point is that I'm not worried about that mug anymore. I'd rather see Drew Lock play anyways. And I think he fits what they want to do because Malik Nabers is a downfield player. He's not a slant player. Like, he can take a slant and go. He has yak yards. And in college, that's easier because the turf is a lot further away. The hash marks are closer here. So a lot of those gainers, like, you think about it like this, right? Jalen Hyatt was brought in here to do the same shit that Malik Nabers is going to do. Same shit. The only difference is that Malik Nabers is a bigger guy and can play inside and outside. And Jalen Hyatt is more of just an outside burner. Okay? He doesn't have the physicality. That you would normally need, right? So we'll see. I mean, they have three good. I'll give them this. The Giants have three decent receivers, 4 if you count Slayton.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's about in terms of like, okay, you have advantage. When you go down the list and you check the boxes, you'll say receiver, okay, maybe a little bit of a check mark there. Running back, maybe a plus, and then everything else is going to be minus against most teams. We have 4 fucking blocking tight ends. We have, linemen out the wazoo, right? But we don't have any real weapons, and we don't know what we're going to do yet with Jalen Hyatt. And I hope they work out. And we have a quarterback that throws 6 yards in a cloud of dust. That's just who he is. I'm sorry, folks. That's who he is. And I'll be real. I've come down off my grief. I'm going to watch this team, but I'm not going to do the same thing I did years ago when I invested countless hours and stressing out. Like, if I miss the game, I'll only be watching the game because I haven't missed the game, but I'm not going to intently watch the game and care and put my heart and soul into it like I do every week until that guy's off the team. I'm sorry, you can call me crazy, but I don't care what they do. Anything short of the NFC Championship game, I don't want to see that guy anymore. You're paying that guy $160 million. Expectations should be fucking Super Bowl. When you draft Malik Nabers, that's the fucking expectation. When you draft a quarterback, you have time because you know that you have to go through the growing pains of the quarterback. A receiver can come out like gangbusters like Odell and light the world on fire. But he also did have Eli Manning throwing the ball. Look at Garrett Wilson right now struggling to get 1,000 yards. And let me say one thing about 1,000 yards, okay? 1,000 yards is not really that good, okay? It really not.
There's 17 fucking games.
It's like 17 games. That's like 58 yards a game. 58 yards a game. Like, what are we talking about here? When I draft you in the top 6, top 10, I'm not wanting 68 yards a game. I expect that guy to be fucking Puka Nacua. Okay, Puka Nacua, 5th round pick, by the way, at 1,500 yards. Of course, he had Matthew Stafford throwing the fucking football.
Oh, definitely 4th from a Super Bowl.
But I'm just saying to you because, Miz, check this out. Let me be frank, right? Brian Dable loses next year. Yeah, sure. Nabers brings the fucking asses to the seats, but you're fucking still losing 24-20 because you're not really scoring that many points because your offense is sucky and your quarterback's shitty. Brian Dable may not have a fucking job.
But I agree with that. It's not even about but I'm also add on that. Well, what I would say is, it's almost the OBJ thing all over again. This guy's gonna become.
I feel like it's like Barkley because OBJ was not. We weren't looking for a quarterback. We weren't looking for that. We had a quarterback established already in Eli Manning. We were trying to bring in playmakers. That's why Odell Beckham Jr. was drafted. Saquon Barkley is exactly Malik Nabers because Saquon Barkley, arguably the best player in the draft. Malik Nabers, arguably the best player in the draft. Green jacket, right? Has now goes the same way, right? You get that guy that you do.
I think honestly, Miz, like not to cut off Adam, but I think they're gonna have multiple years. I mean, like honestly, we're not gonna. Joe Shane and Brian Dable is gonna have multiple.
Not
years.
Really, bro. I'm not going that far because I'll be real with you. The coaching curve, the coaching.
Well, I say this year and next year. I don't see beyond next year.
I'm not. If Dable has a bad season, he should be on the chopping block and upgraded. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm giving you 3 years.
Less than 3 wins, absolutely. I'm not going to disagree with you.
No, the bar is the bar.
Quarterback, Andrew Phillips, Kentucky, New York Giants. There you go. But here's the thing, Adams, and you might disagree on this, but here's the thing. Like, obviously, Joe Shane and Brian Dable, Malik Nabers is a capable receiver, and we both know it. With Daniel Jones, he doesn't really have to do so much. Just get Malik Nabers the ball, and obviously they're gonna figure out ways to cover Malik Nabers, but in a way that gives Hyatt enough time to get better and get the ball. Robinson's gonna get the ball. Hopefully, the running back committee can figure it out. And Malik Nabers, he will probably finish with like 1,200 yards. You know what I'm saying?
The guy is 5'10".
He is that type of cornerback is 5%. Malik Nabers is that type of receiver. You know what I'm saying? He is the dog. He's going to finish at about 1,200 yards. Could that's his middle. Could eclipse that easily. But we'll see what happens. But Daniel Jones at his quarterback, that's why I'm going to consider it. He is going to pass that 1,000 yards. But here's the thing, though. They go into next year with 7 minutes.
Hands. Yeah, we got this cornerback. Woo! We didn't get our quarterback, John. We saved your grandson, John. We got him his pony.
Oh man! With 7 wins, right? Brian Dable and Joe Shane will have another chance.
No.
John Mauer is gonna buy into whatever they're selling him.
Not me.
I'm telling you, he will. He will.
No,
look at Mo. He's fucking happy. Exactly. Mo is ecstatic. He's like,
Mauer's ecstatic because Jones is here another year. That's why he's ecstatic. He's trolling the fans. That's basically what happened to us. We got fucking trolled, right? Everybody got fucking no. I'm telling you right now, the decree that you just put out. You don't have a quarterback, okay? You're not going to win a lot of games, but I don't. But the reason why. The reason that pisses me off.
I want to touch on that too.
The reason what's fucking pissing me off is that you're sitting here, and now they're over, and probably the Rattlers probably going to go to Las Vegas. But you're sitting here, and this guy, this team needs to have an expectation. And my expectation is championship level or bust. Why? Because if you're going to start Daniel Jones, you paid him $160 million. Okay? There's no fucking way that guy.
Yes,
that guy.
They believe that, Adam, but here's the thing. It's Daniel Jones. He is going to bust. It's Daniel Jones is not going to take the team to the NFC Championship.
I don't think that, Miz, I think you're overestimating the defense. I think there's going to be a lot more blowouts.
You don't have let me just say this.
That little corner that we got is not going to stop a nosebleed. Okay, I'm sorry. You guys love a third round. The guy's a third round corner. He's 5'10" out of Kentucky. Give me a break.
Bose, does a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers go look at their defense? That's way better than our team. We have one of the best lines. Yes, I would say that our D line looks scary, guys. okay. But when teams
They
can
haven't
dunk
even
the ball
played
on
together.
us, I mean,
What are you talking about?
when they pass the ball on us because our D line's not going to sack the quarterback every single fucking play.
1995, we had a strong defense. We didn't win any games. Give me a break.
We need more players on our defense. We have an opportunity to be decent, but it's not like we have the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, like known players and known.
Listen, we couldn't stop the run.
We don't have the Cleveland
year.
Browns defense, guys.
We don't have anybody playing next. We don't have anybody.
But yes, it's been defense so far.
We don't have anyone playing next to Dexter Lawrence. Okay, with Azeez Ojulari, we have no idea what he's going to be like.
We have a strong D line. I wouldn't.
I get the front seven's going to be pretty good.
Yes,
but I'm just saying.
The defense, the Saints front seven.
I'm just saying. Last year we weren't a good defense. You don't just turn it around like that in an instant. Okay, you do. You
system on the new defensive coordinator.
Well, what I'm saying is, Jordan Phillips is not that good, dude, bro. Come on. I mean, what are we doing here? You know, we picked up a guy from Buffalo. He's fucking washed, right?
I do like that safety. But before we go on, I do want to touch on the player real fast, guys, because Adam, I absolutely love this pick. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm gonna stand with Dan Orlovsky. I'm gonna stand with Dan Orlovsky on this pick because this is a team that clearly values the quarterback position. Now, people are getting excited because of his age. I don't fucking get it, okay? Here's the thing, guys. They had a quarterback in Matt Ryan, okay, that retired. It was a struggle for them to find a replacement for Matt Ryan. They go and they signed a replacement for Matt Ryan, but they signed a replacement for Matt Ryan that is known to go out on injuries sometimes. At the end of the day, Michael Penix Jr. is a quarterback that, yes, he could start now, but now you go to a team like Atlanta that is building for a while a really legit roster. Even if he has to sit 3 years at most, he sits behind a veteran quarterback like a Kirk Cousins that can teach him the ropes of the NFL. If you look at Atlanta's offense, they're ready to go right now. If you look at Atlanta's defense, they're ready to go right now. Regardless what anybody says, the Atlanta Falcons is like the Detroit Lions of last year. All they need is some energy, which they're going to get with Kirk Cousins, and they have some dogs, which AJ Terrell, which they lost last year, which was coming off of injuries last year, is back. And the Atlanta Falcons are ready to win and ready to compete for a Lombardi trophy. And will they compete for a Lombardi trophy? You know, we still got the Lions, we still got San Francisco in front of them, but you know, you still got obviously, you know, the Dallas, which is one and done. So let's not talk about them. You still kind of have to respect the Eagles in a way. But at the end of the day, guys, if this kid has to sit 3 fucking seasons, everybody's complaining. I don't see it. He's going to be 27 when he starts. People's like, oh, that's super old. Okay, 10 years. He's 37. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I understand why. But I think as the Atlanta Falcons, they valued him. They thought he was the second best quarterback in this draft. They valued him right up there. I believe they valued him, and they valued Jaden Daniels as really high on their board, and they thought he was going to be taken. And since the fact that he fell to them, they couldn't pass him by. So Michael Penix for Atlanta Falcons, I look at this kind of like everybody was laughing at Gibbs, but look what Gibbs helped out the Lions do this past season. I think this is a move when 2030 we're going to look at, and it might have been like, I know that's a way off, but it might have been the fucking right move. This might have been an easy transition to maybe, just maybe Kirk Cousins wins a Super Bowl with Atlanta Falcons in the next 3 seasons. And once he wins that Super Bowl, he retires and rides off into the sunset, retires, and boom, you have Michael Penix in-house ready to take his place. Or maybe, hold up, guys, maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe he goes out on injury. Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. right there. And Atlanta Falcons fans, they love them. Obviously, we'll see what happens. But what we see is they like Kirk Cousins, and I don't think they're going to be chanting Michael Penix like if you know, obviously it's Kirk Cousins, it's not Daniel Jones. But that being said, you know, I absolutely love this pick, regardless of what anybody says. But what's your thoughts on Michael Penix to Atlanta? I know that was kind of a shocker. That was probably the shocker of the first round. I don't know if Adam is here. If he is, say aye. Adam is not here, as the Dallas Cowboys pick is in. That's why I feel about Michael Penix, guys. Moving on, we had Rome go to Chicago. The reason why I love this pick is
hold on.
There you go.
Michael Penix Jr. is a solid pick. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if I'm Atlanta, I would have given $100 million, and then all of a sudden,
loves his NBA contract.
Michael Penix. That's just not what I would have done. But I know they can get out of the contract probably early, so they're hedging their bets. And Michael Penix. It's funny because let's say Kirk Cousins, let's say hypothetically speaking, the Atlanta Falcons get to the Super Bowl or something like that. Maybe they could.
The rival. Fucking Dallas. Wow.
Yeah, the Dallas. But see, that's what I mean. People don't get it. Everyone says the Giants do well, but the other teams are still here too, right? So
they're gonna improve. Yeah, they're always.
We haven't closed the gap much, okay? And as long as your quarterback is who it is,
absolutely not.
It's going to be tough.
So all of these teams have a cornerback that could guard our rookie. I'm not trying to be mean to Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers will get them eventually. We'll get them sometimes. But all of our other teams in this division is tough, bro. It's super tough. Including the Washington Commanders.
Let me break something down. Eli Manning used to have this issue where he used to stare down guys, right, or miss guys, because guys like Shockey and Burris would put their hands up, and you're like, whatever. And it wasn't until Jeremy Shockey kind of got injured where he started to blossom, because there wasn't a guy breathing down his neck to get him the ball. And when you have a guy like a Malik Nabers who's going to ask for the ball, and a guy like Daniel Jones who doesn't read the field, it's going to be easier to get a jump on what they're going to do, because you're going to know that they're going to go to Malik Nabers. Now, Malik Nabers is going to be a beast of a player, so defenses are going to, keep that in mind. Obviously, they don't want to go over the top with it, but I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, I don't know if a guy like this hurts Daniel or helps Daniel in the way that he's going to be a guy that you're now going to need to force the ball to, especially with your limited weapons, right? You have Hyatt, you have Wandell Robinson. They're good. They're solid players. They can make plays, but at the end of the day,
Daniel Jones did show emotion when we drafted him, so that's a good sign.
Oh, good. Yeah, through a text. Kiss my hand. Give me a break. Oh, my God. That's what I'm saying. It's like we're a fucking clown circus over there. Or a three-ring circus over fucking clown show at fucking 1925 Drive. But what I'm saying is, with Eli Manning, it was hard because guys wanted the ball. And when Shockey went down, they brought in Kevin Boss, and it kind of changed everything. There was less personality on the field, except for Plaxico Burress. And Plaxico Burress was such a matchup nightmare that it was easy to get him the ball. But what I'm trying to say is, when the guy reads one read, and now you're giving him a number one receiver, what do you think the NFL is going to do? They already got a beat on you. But anyways, enough of him. Penix Jr. going to be a good pick for Atlanta.
Talk about Rome. Talk about what Rome means to Chicago.
I love Rome Odunze.
JJ, Bo Nix, Brock. I guess
I love Rome.
We want to talk about them all, but we don't have enough time.
We can try to go through some of the things. We'll hit on Bo Nix. We still have about a half hour in the show as the draft is going on, because listen, folks, there's not much going on. About all these picks. You've done your own work. We won't know about a draft class till they hit the field. What we do know is that the Giants botched the biggest position in
I want to point that out real fast. What the fuck is the draft grade? I don't understand that. You don't know nothing about this kid until he actually can we grade him after the season?
No, what happens is this. People make these phony ass things, right? This is what people get caught up in. Oh, he's the fourth best quarterback. He's the fifth best quarterback because Dane Brugler puts him out fourth best quarterback. The thing is this: when you look at a player, does that player what?
No. I apologize. I shouldn't have interrupted, but I'm going to be C+. This guy's went through a right situation. He has a good coach. He has great fucking weapons around him. He has a mediocre defense. This guy could appear in the wild card weekend because he has a weak conference in the NFC. So JJ, for the Vikings, I believe, what is a C+? I don't understand these grades.
I think they give it a C because JJ McCarthy is a polarizing player. You either like him or you don't. And there's nothing in between. But to me, the quarterback's going after Penix Jr., then you have JJ McCarthy. I think that's a great fit for JJ McCarthy. You've got Jefferson You got Addison there. You got the tight end there. You've already got an established offense. This is what happens when people talk about building a team, because everyone's gonna say that when JJ McCarthy does well. Oh, well, his team is stacked. The team was being built for who? Who was it being built for?
For Kirk Cousins.
Okay, then what happened to Kirk Cousins?
His defense let him down over and over and over and over.
No, again. I mean, where is he now?
Oh, he's in Atlanta. I'm sorry.
Okay, so he left, right? My point is now you're inserting a new quarterback to an already built team because you were building it for another quarterback. I don't want to hear if this guy does well and we're struggling out the gate. Oh, well, it's because his team is stacked. No.
Most definitely we're going to hear that.
I don't want to hear it because he came into a team that they were building for Kirk Cousins. They did not re-sign their quarterback, and bang, he is in that situation. If the Giants were smart and they did that and they brought in a guy, then I could see what we're doing, right? We don't have a guy that's established like that. Now, if you want to say Drew Lock's the bridge quarterback, right, and you're going to draft one next year, and by the way, I think Spencer Rattler's still hovering around.
All the quarterbacks are still available.
I think
outside of the top 6.
I think if he gets to the 4th round, that's where I think the Giants will pounce on him there, because they'll be like, all right, now we can get probably the best available player in this round. And it definitely will be Spencer Rattler if he makes it that far. But point is, J.J. McCarthy, I can't be mad that J.J. McCarthy, who's now going to come in to a situation and have an advantage, right? I don't buy it, right? So, and then the Jets, I think they picked the O-line here. Smart move.
That's a good pick by the Jets.
Smart move for them, as Mekhi Becton's not the guy there. Build for Aaron Rodgers while he's still there. Bo Nix. We were talking about Bo Nix to Sean Payton for days. People, whether you like him or not, whether he's a second-round pick or not, they need to get their guy. They don't have a second-round pick. So if Bo Nix blows up on that team, now, again, and the thing is, the problem is that if these guys blow up, Joe Shane's going to look like an ass. So that's why I keep saying they need to get to the NFC Championship game and look good, because nothing is going to save, in my eyes, Brian Daboll's job if you have another subpar season. I just don't believe it. I don't care, because Miz just told us we had a solid defense, right? So that means to me, you're a $160 million quarterback who now has the number 1 receiver. You got to elevate motherfuckers. You got to.
You took a receiver at 6. You're telling the fans you're going to compete now.
Exactly.
You believe that Daniel Jones, a $40 million quarterback, is capable of taking this team to, everybody wants to say we're in a rebuilding mode. They took a wide receiver at 6.
Exactly.
You don't take a wide receiver at 6 when you're rebuilding. You trade back.
Exactly. That would have been the smart. That would have been the smart play, because all I heard from our GM was we have a lot of holes to fill and not a lot of draft picks. Yeah. So we're not going quarterback or whatever. So if you weren't
in a deep wide receiver class, mind
exactly. You could have traded down, taken a quarterback there if you wanted to, and made it less cost efficient. You could have gotten more picks and gotten a defensive player or a cornerback, right? And still gotten Brian Thomas or something else. Because the thing that also pissed me off is once he was there and the pick was over, he walked away and turned around from the first round and said, I'm done. I'm not trading back up in. Like, what are you doing? Like, why wouldn't you want to see who's there and go get a guy,
available,
right? I know you let the board play you, and I think the Giants are going to do that. I don't think they're making any more trades. I think they're just going to remain chalk right now, which you're going to only have 6 draft picks. But you're trying to win. You're trying to win now. If they haven't acquired assets for next year, okay? Let's
talk about that though. Like you done more for the kid though? It's like honestly, like you go and you waste the 6th round overall pick on Malik Nabers, and I don't want to say waste. Let me just say this, but you're showing you're going to compete, right? But you have Daniel Jones as your quarterback, and you're paying Drew Lock, so you bring in Drew Lock for $5 million on a 1-year deal when we could have had Russell Wilson for $1.4 million or $1.7 million. We could have Russell Wilson to compete with us for $1.7 million, but you choose to bring in to Drew Lock on $5 million. Okay, I get it. I understand why there's the ego with Russell Wilson and Daniel Jones, but still, you bring in a quarterback in Drew Lock that is a worse player than Russell Wilson, but you're paying more than Russell Wilson on a 1-year contract. Not only that, but you have You have fucking players like Keenan Allen just going out the door on the cheap, and you can't even try to go get a wide receiver like that. You know, we have Justin Fields being traded for a fourth round pick for Justin Fields. But you know what I'm saying? That what confuses me, because it's like we don't go out there, we don't try to fill this wide receiver market with the free agents that was available. We don't go and don't trade for wide receivers when wide receivers clearly was vocal about it, and wide receivers that we clearly can go and restructure contracts to get, but not only break the cap. If you look what Philadelphia Eagles do, they're able to get all these players and genius the cap. Like we all talk, even me. I mean, like I'm just gonna talk for myself. I talk about Joe Shane being the savage GM and what he does in the offseason. But then I look in our division about how he does in the offseason as a fucking wizard, bro. On draft day, begins the fucking headlines, captures the fucking headlines immediately, and pays his fucking wide receiver for, you can just see that headline repeat over and over and over again before the draft even fucking starts, okay? Yet alone, look what they did in free agency. You know, they go and they get Chancey Johnson back. They go and they get a cornerback for them. They go and they get a running back for them, and they back end the contracts. You know what I'm saying? And they still have available cap money to pay their wide receiver in AJ Brown. And you still look at their cap, and it's just crazy. Like you look at the Giants players on what we have on cap, and then our players, and then we look at the Eagles roster, and it's day and night, and the Eagles like are magicians with the cap, and then we're stuck here taking a wide receiver at 6 when we have Keenan Allen on the Bears for cheap, bro. We're here paying fucking a $5 million to a Drew Lock when we have Russell Wilson paying for 1.7. So like, tell me what is the answer? Because Daniel Jones and Malik is not gonna fucking stop. It's not gonna scare fucking anybody. Daniel Jones and Malik is not gonna fucking scare anybody. This is the National Football League. This is not the UFL. Yes, Malik Nabers is going to be great. Yes, he is. But at the end of the day, he's a fucking rookie, and you're going to put all this fucking pressure on this rookie, which he's going to come through in the clutch. Yes, he will. But at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. And you're telling the fan base that we're ready to compete. Now we took our wide receiver at 6, and we're going to go out there and we're going to try to compete. And then when next year comes, I keep on repeating myself because it's just I just don't understand the process on the direction of this team when we're trying to compete but rebuild at the same time. Where you just can't do that in the NFL. If maybe we have, you know, taken, what's up, Tito? Massive salutes to you as well. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, if you maybe have taken a quarterback, and I get it, maybe they didn't feel so highly on one, but regardless of that, I mean, like, you know. Maybe you end up liking more quarterbacks than just fucking one quarterback.
But look at this draft so far, right? Look at this draft so far.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, what side of the ball do we think needs more help?
The offensive side.
And we've drafted 2 defensive players the last 2
drafting defense, yeah.
So what is Malik Nabers going to be, the savior of the offense? Because my point is this: you still got Hyde who's developing, who I think is good. But clearly, our quarterback didn't see him downfield. Like that is not an indictment on Jalen. That is just a fact. Okay, You have Wendell Robinson, who all of our quarterbacks besides Drew Lock, who's never played here, have missed wide open. Fact. Okay, We're sitting here now with a weapon and lack of a weapon, and you're not making it hard on the defense at all. You're not. I'm sorry, you're not making it hard on the defense at all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And especially when the defense knows that they can rattle you with blitzing. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about us being a competent football team. I'm worried that we're not going to have an edge. When you go down the list of things and you check out,
you look at all these teams that compete, right? Don't they have multiple wide receivers and a quarterback?
Right. They had you look at the Texans, right? What did D'Amico Ryan say? He said C.J. Stroud lifted the ball club. He said he lifted him with his spirit, his play, everything. And by the way, go watch some of what C.J. Stroud's doing on Twitter and YouTube with some of these podcasts and recognizing plays. The boy is a dog. The boy is got, and that's why Joe Shea was enamored with him coming out, right? And I think like the moves right now for the Giants don't make sense to me. Like I get it, you need a corner, but you didn't waste your second round pick on a corner. You got a safety, which was it looks like an Xavier McKinney kind of pick. Like
he does
my
look
God.
like a dog, yeah. 12 interceptions in his last 3 seasons, I believe.
And he
5 last year.
He's like an Xavier McKinney type for me, right? Where he was a first round pick, but he went the second. You had to pick him at the high value. Okay, but then you doubled down on defensive back to add depth. I saw a stat on Twitter where in Joe Shane's 3 drafts, he's drafted 7 DBs. 7 DBs. That's almost 2 DBs a fucking draft, bro. And that's and not saying that. And I think that was cornerbacks. I don't know if it was DBs. Let me see if it was defensive backs. I just got to check.
Oh yeah, I mean, like they do take a lot of defensive backs.
But I'm just saying that's an absurd. And then not one quarterback. Like you drafted a receiver 4 years in a row, twice in the first round in the last 4 years. You've gone offensive line. You know what? You had a first round pick, a second round pick, a third, and a fifth. Right? Like you've put resources. You drafted 1 tight end so far in your tenure here. Okay, no running backs have come through your door that you've drafted. Oh, you have excuse me. You did. You have Eric Craig, 1 running back. You've drafted 7 DBs, 7 fucking DBs. You drafted 2 last year, 2 cornerbacks. You drafted a cornerback this year. You drafted a cornerback in 2022 in Cordell fucking Flott, 3rd round. Okay. Right? Or 2020, was it last year? No, 2022.
2022.
Yeah. Right? Cordell Flott. You drafted a corner last year. Okay, 2 corners last year. 3 corners in the last 2 draft picks, right? You had Flott and you have Trey Hawkins and Deontay Banks.
Yes, true.
Right? Not to mention the Giants have drafted Aaron Robinson, Darnay Holmes, DeAndre Baker. I mean, and we haven't drafted any quarterbacks in the last. Like this is what I mean by an inept franchise. Meanwhile, the Eagles get the fucking best corner in the draft last year. Get the best corner in the draft this year. Their second round pick is pretty good as well. All right, like and the Cowboys trade back in the first round twice, still get a lineman, and then get another lineman, Cooper Beebe as well. So they're building the trenches again for their team. Smart fucking decision.
Kalen Bullock, let's go. Nice move, Texans. I don't know why people took so long to draft Kalen Bullock. Thank you. Good job, Texans.
My point
cornerback out of SC. Continue.
See, no QB, no legit running back, no tight end. The offense is a joke, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like this is not a winning formula.
Definitely, the offensive is a joke. And okay, on paper, guys, yeah, it looks good. It looks good on paper, right? You get Malik Nabers, you get Hyatt, you get Robinson.
That's it, but that's it. After that, that's it. That's it. You got 3 guys. You basically
in the NFL. There's nothing UFL in the NFL, bro.
Basically,
teams figured out how to.
You're net negative.
Hold up. There's teams that stop Joe Burrow, Nixon, Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. There is teams that stop that offense. But hold up, guys. We got Daniel Jones and Malik Nabers. We're ready. We're gonna compete.
But my lord, I mean, Malik Nabers ain't even gonna get his number here. He's probably gonna be 88, right? He's probably gonna have a good season to start out. But I'm just saying, Wando Robinson's not anything to write home about yet. Everyone keeps talking about potential, but I hear all that. I hope he has a breakout year. Right, with a lack of the thing is with a lack of tight end, you're gonna have to spread.
The Giants are so fucking bad. We got like mediocre fucking receivers demanding holdouts, bro.
That's what I need. That's what. And bye. I mean, that's what. Okay. So there's another thing. Darius Slayton, like, where is he on this team now? Because if you look at him, you're a 5th round pick. You're not been drafted by this fucking regime. Okay, this regime has drafted 3 fucking receivers in 2 years, okay, with premium picks, and your ass is trying to hold the fuck out. And the thing that pisses me off the most right now is we're not doing anything next year to get a quarterback. We should be trading down to grab assets to make to future get draft picks. See, that's why I know Joe Shane knows his team is going to be fucking ass, because when you know your team is going to be ass, You don't fucking trade things.
So they're like kids in a candy shop when you see Malik Nabers. Awkward fucking press con, awkward fucking taping though. I don't know what it is. I'm not even trying to be mean, but no.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm not even trying to be mean.
Our defense is going to be like last year. It's going to get
you know what they're doing, Adam.
Run out the building. Look at it. Think about this too. We drafted Dane Belton. Okay, we drafted Turbin. We brought in fucking Penix. We got Deontay Banks. We brought in Trey Hawkins. And where is my quarterback? Like what? Where's anybody? We undrafted rookie free agent. That's how much you care about the position. This is what I mean.
Bro. It's him.
This is what I mean. This is what I keep telling you. Like people. This is this man. Don't get caught up in the hair and the smile and the comb over that he does, because right now he's a fucking moron. Like,
well,
he is. I'm rooting for Drew Lock, but he's acting like a moron right now, and our offense is not something to write home about.
So I'm going to be watching Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears this upcoming season. Who's your team to watch?
Like think about this, right? And we have injuries all over the place. If Malik Nabers goes down with like a hamstring,
we have one injury on offense. It's over.
Right? It's over. It's done. One injury. It's already cooked because our quarterback stinks. Right? But now you give a guy who doesn't have who by the way played better with Saquon Barkley on the field than any other skill position player he's had. Right? And now you take that away. He has a bad neck, which they've already said he takes another hit, he's probably to putsies. Right? And then he has a bad knee, which what does he do best? He has a bad knee, and what does he do best? Run the football. But let me guess, the entire NFL knows your bag right now, bro. So it's not like they're Daniel Jones is coming out there year 6, and everyone's like, oh, you know what? He's going to be all different now. No, Tigers don't change their stripes. So, and just say, and you're watching what we're doing in the draft right now, and we're not even helping out that side of the ball. We have a fucking talent problem on the tight end position. Daniel Bellinger. While I like the guy, ain't no fucking, Malik Nabers. I'm telling you, this is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. all over.
All this time about building the team, but building a team, we can never get offensive players here at the same time. Like fucking
we're building a team.
OBJ goes out.
This is what I mean. Joe Shane's a fucking fraud, bro. Like you want to build a team, you're building the team.
Darren Waller retires.
You're building the team. You traded for a fucking booty ass tight end who played 5 games for you, realized that you're not getting rid of Daniel Jones, decides to fucking retire. Okay? He's like, yep, Daniel Jones, I'll take my chances out here in the real world. Okay?
I'll become a rapper because Daniel Jones is my quarterback.
Exactly. I'm going to stick to rapping. No, listen, I don't want to make fun of him. I know he might have health problems, but that's it.
No, we don't want to make fun of him.
Listen, I'm just saying, like no man. I don't need to break it to you, but think about that. You're basically banking on all these guys being on the field at the same time. Wan'Dale Robinson can't get off press coverage. Fucking Jalen Hyatt can't get off press coverage. They're all the same thing. That you don't have an identity on offense. You have 3 fucking tight ends, so you have to take one of the guys off the field because they all fucking block. Every tight end on your roster can block, minus Lawrence Cager. That's all they do is block. So either you're going to be a heavy run team and run that shitty offense that you ran in 2022 to save your job, that fucking drop back in a cloud of dust type shit, right? Where or you're going to have a regular. I'm telling you, man, this could be uglier than it was. Like, this is what I'm telling you. When you get a quarterback, it changes everything. When you bring in a receiver for a quarterback that doesn't, every fucking weapon we brought in here, we say is bad, right? Why do we always say every weapon is bad? Why do we look at the person who's throwing him the football? I mean, Malachi Corey rose up the draft boards, right? And had a great season. And if you watch the highlight tapes, you wonder who the fuck is throwing the ball. Then you realize, oh, it's Austin Reed. And when you go read about something, you're like, oh, man, this guy's got a little talent. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, he can make the plays. I have a guy in Daniel Jones who can't even see the far side of a fucking barn. Okay? He can't even hit. He sees.
Wait. Do they, when they do the physicals, do they do depth perception?
I don't know, man. He doesn't need. Did you see that interview with his bug eyes? Like, what the fuck are you? That's my quarterback. That's the guy I'm in. Like, we're the laughing stock of the league. Like, I looked at the. You could look at like the AFC West, and you could be like, their quarterbacks suck, but Gardner Minshew's better than Daniel Jones.
Okay, he has almost the same numbers and has played less games. Go look it up. I've already done the comparison. You have and you have Aiden O'Connell who plays some games. You have fucking Patrick Mahomes. You have Justin Herbert, and you have now Bo Nix. All right, and they have Zach Wilson. You could arguably say we are the worst quarterback room in the NFL. And the problem is,
we definitely are, bro.
There's nobody in the pipeline that you're like, oh, there's a Sam Howell here. I feel good about this. They've spent no money on the quarterback position except for Daniel Jones. That's why I'm like, I wanted to blow up in their face. Like, if you're going to be this negligent at the position, you might as well die with the position. You might as well die with this fucking idiot that you.
Look how much coaches went down. Look how much coaches.
I mean, Daniel Jones should be called the Grim Reaper, man, because
Danny Dimes, bro.
You coach Daniel Jones, you never get a job again.
Dude, coaches talking about Daniel Jones, we're talking about he's the death of me.
Fucking Pat Shurmur is in college. He's fucking barely hanging on with Colorado
offensive coordinator.
Barely hanging on with offensive coordinator.
Not Brian Dable. Ben McAdoo is actually with the Ops. He's with the Cowboys.
Yeah, but he didn't draft Daniel Jones. Okay,
that is true.
Jason Garrett's on TV and basically gave you the wink and the nod as to why he was on TV. He was like, the quarterback situation, winking and nod. Our team doesn't even like our fucking quarterback. They're calling him out, said, we should have paid Saquon Barkley. Our fucking first round pick doesn't even pronounce his name right. Like, if you don't see how comedic, our general manager goes to six pro days of quarterbacks, and only out of all six, one of them, he's like, I have conviction on going to get one guy. Like, hey, you know what? I need a house. I'm going to go get that house. Oh, sorry, I can't have that house. I guess I don't have a house. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically what you did. You were like, oh, it's, you know what? I can't get it. Okay, boom, kibosh. Right? And then instead the guy comes out, JJ goes, oh, you know, and you don't even pick the guy. Like, you didn't. And the thing is, you have to trade assets to get him. You didn't even have to trade out. He fell right to you. And you still took Nabers. That I almost wish that LA took Nabers, so we would probably take.
I was clenching my back. I wanted LA to take Nabers so effing badly, bro. I was like, because, take Nabers, Jim. Take Nabers, Jim. And then Jim does it again.
But it's fun. It's funny because I hope Joe Shane also. This is gonna be like a reality show. You know, you watch a reality TV show and they're like, you're not gonna fucking hear about this, and you're like, bro, the cameras are rolling, right? Well, I hope the cameras are rolling when the entire draft told them that they were going up to get Drake May, because to me, you don't really believe in Daniel Jones. That's what it tells me. And you can spin it like we went up and tried to get a quarterback and did all this bullshit. In the actuality, you tried to get a replacement for the guy, and it didn't work out, which means you were sniffing around and trying to do it, which means at the next shot, you're probably going to be able to pull it off next time. So what I'm thinking is happening right now is forward thinking is Brian Dable is going to get the can next year, and they're going to bring in Mike Vrabel or Brian Johnson in here, and then they'll get their quarterback, because you can't be that stupid. I'm sorry that we've taken this draft talk to this, but when you think about it and you talk it out, because this is really a talk session right now for me, I'm trying to get a lot of shit off my chest about this team, because I really am wavering walking away. I even texted an Eagle fan like, hey, man, you better make room on the bandwagon because I might be coming over. You know what I mean? Because that's how I was ready to join the enemy, because that's how pathetic Daniel Jones is. And to sell me, to sit there as a GM and sell me that you're good with your quarterback room, you've got to be out of your mind, because if this fails, which has a high probability of failing, because we've already seen it once fail, and now you're going to bring more now the pressure's even more on Daniel, because now you get a number one receiver. They've tripled down on you. You got to be the guy. You can't. There's no excuses now. I don't want to hear about, Darren Waller couldn't, if he was only 6'8", could have caught the ball. Like, instead of your quarterback should have hit him in the gut, right? So my point is, if this fails, you're not getting another job again. Never. Brian Dable and Joe Shane. But yeah, they'll latch on like Joe Judge or whatever. But no one's gonna. Everyone's gonna look at you, right? That Buffalo days are gonna be so far gone. They're like, wait, what? You had Josh Allen, yet you still signed Daniel Jones, and then you ran it back. Even went to even in the building, guys like Jordan Renaud were saying people had reservations of going with a quarterback with 2 neck injuries. Like, what are you doing? Like, that to me is a bad investment. That is stupid. The overall beat, like, if Daniel Jones was healthy and he sucked, you could have been like, all right, at least he's healthy and he sucked. The guy's coming off major injuries. Like,
injured every single year.
Every year he was injured. Every fucking year. Even the year that he was healthy, he was injured. Okay, and people forget that year in 2022 that they rave about. They went 3-6 down the stretch. Why? Because they played fucking good ass teams.
1 year, Adam, at over 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, not even a touchdown a game. Give me a break. Like that's ridiculous. Fucking Jalen Hurts has 15 touchdowns rushing. That's like 1 a game. And people poo-pooed him. I got guys yelling at me like, oh, they're only tush pushes. They still count as touchdowns. Like they don't.
I will say this right now. You're gonna need more than Malik to save that kid's career. Listen, but good luck, Giants. Continue, Adam.
As we close it out.
Blake Corum, there you go. That's what you're talking about, Rams. That's a selection.
Look at the Rams loading the fuck up with receivers, man.
Look at that draft 40 years
ago. You know what, man? Like the Rams. This is what I mean. When you have a quarterback, you can do whatever you want. We can't. Okay, and the thing is, this is why Malik Nabers. I hope you have a great career with the Giants. I think you're a stud wide receiver. It was nothing against you. It was nothing against the position of wide receiver. It was I know the landscape of the league. You're gonna get fucking uber expensive. We're gonna trade your ass like we traded Odell Beckham Jr. because guess what? They fucking produce receivers like they produce McDonald's cheeseburgers. They're just
which they produce a lot of.
Billions. A billion sold every time, right? So I'm not worried about getting a receiver. What I'm worried about is the Giants have fallen back on their normal.
I think Malik Nabers is waiting for next year too, and he can get his quarterback.
The Giants do rinse and repeat. We compete and we rebuild at the same time. That's exactly what Malik Nabers is. It's a compete while rebuilding move. Sure. And the fact that you went defense twice when your offense is bereft of talent, don't get me wrong.
I'm kind of happy with number 2 though. I like that safety, but still, you went defense twice.
No, I get it. He's McKinney. He's Xavier. He's Xavier
that's
McKinney.
Good. That's a good yes.
Right, like when they went Xavier McKinney in the second round of 2021 draft, I think it was. I get that. That's fine. But you have 6 picks, and you probably should have gone all offense. Your running back room, and I told myself that kid Turbo that they signed, that was their running back that they were going to get in the draft. Yeah. That kid Turbo that they signed after the combine is basically their draft pick. Okay.
I would say this though. I would want to go to a place where the Giants can actually build the organization rather than just renting players on their rookie contracts. Because at the end of the day, we have Andrew Thomas, congratulations. We have Dexter Lawrence, congratulations.
We draft the DT every year.
We do, and I would have gone DT if the
can we draft a quarterback?
I don't think the DT
give me something
was available
Spencer Rattler
for the right cost. What I would say though is like a lot of DTs went right before our pick 2, no Mets. But here's the thing: like, can we just stop for once and actually acquire our own? Because we don't go out there, we don't pay our premier safety that can compete in the NFL, but we go out there and we go get another one, which I understand.
We have 3 more picks.
We do this so much. Is we get these players on the rookie contracts, and we don't develop them, or we develop them and we don't pay them. Okay, and then we don't pay them, and then they go off to other teams and have pretty good.
Drew Lock's being the starter this year.
So
I just have a feeling.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're not crazy, because I do believe the same thing, because I don't think Daniel Jones is ready to start, and if he is ready to start, then I don't think
look at this offense
immediately. Because
what are you surrounding him with? Like we think the offense is great, right? We're like, we're for alpha dog. But then when you look at
think that certain fans
when you look at the offense as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
You got rid of Barkley. Waller's gone. You have a disgruntled Darius Slayton.
Yes.
Okay, Isaiah Hodgins did nothing. Right?
Absolutely.
Wanda
Roman Wilson, good pick.
Robin,
just keep on good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how to pick.
Hard
receivers, at least.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Wando Robinson had up and down year. I mean, we hope he comes into his own. You spent a high pick on him. You told us you had plays for him. I just don't think this offense is going to scare anybody. I'm sorry.
It's definitely
Malik Nabers is great. But it's like you have Saquon Barkley and a bunch of guys running around. It's not like you invested in the pick.
I don't care if the kid was 6. We don't put obviously we put a lot of pressure on rookie quarterbacks. Honestly, Caleb Williams is looking to come in and change.
But realistically, how many games do you think we're winning? How many do you think?
Oh yeah. Let me just say this real fast. Caleb Williams, he's coming into Chicago to really go and change that franchise, and we do look at that. Right. But I think with Malik Nabers, I think as a Giants organization, we're going to be putting too much pressure on him because he's the only guy we have. So that being said, I mean, like DJ clearly is not going to see him. Slayton clearly wants out. He knew he was bringing back DJ. Absolutely nothing against Waller's mental, but he probably retired
because of that too.
Because of
I'm just saying
DJ as well.
Listen, bro.
That being said, how much wins though? Here, I'm gonna give you the wins. Malik Nabers, he's a dog. We all know he's a dog, but obviously the NFL is full of dogs. Okay, everybody talks about SEC.
How long it took us to get to the playoffs with Odell?
Everybody talks about SEC. Adam, he went against dog SEC. Future draft picks. Adams got some draft picks here in Alabama and Missouri. This guy roasted them. Roasted everybody that went against him in SEC. 150 yards a game. Over 100 yards a game. Absolutely, Matt. We know you really we got you, dog. You know that. That being said, hopefully Alex and you guys are having a great stream. Shout out to you guys as well.
We need Spencer Rattler in the 4th, Mac.
We definitely need Spencer Rattler in the 4th, or at least another quarterback, maybe that Tulane quarterback. But I would say this.
Or Jordan Travis, number 6.
Jordan Travis, he was on track too, and that guy is a veteran of college football, playing 5 seasons, having good numbers last year as well. And then obviously transferring to Florida State and looking good as well. But I will say this, that's the SEC. So Malik Nabers, he had over 100 yards every fucking against good SEC.
Yeah, he fought with Jaden Daniels.
SEC.
He fought with Jaden Daniels to get the ball.
Yeah, this is the NFL.
He fought with Jaden Daniels to get the ball. You don't think he's going to fucking blow up a Daniel fucking Jones? Like, motherfucker, I'm open. Why aren't you throwing me the ball?
Why aren't you throwing me the football? I'm sorry, I'm doing headlights. I didn't see you.
But I'm just saying, you look at these teams, right? What do they do for the Jets, Garrett Wilson? What has Garrett Wilson done? How many wins has Garrett Wilson?
But this is what I'm going to say. On that point, it's like they're going to rely on him. So it's like, early on in games, they're gonna want to put him on a 2-step slant or all this fast spots to get in the football, right? To utilize his yak. They want to utilize his yak. Then
defenses adjust, bro.
Defenses absolutely adjust. But not only that, they're gonna know what you do in week 2. I'll have to tape of week 1, and then absolutely you're gonna go even try out there and do stuff different. But at the end of the day, this guy's gonna be targeted a shit amount of times, bro. This guy can't even hit
Jalen Hyatt. He's not going to hit Nabers downfield.
And if Daniel Jones, I'm with you on that. Daniel Jones is going to have a problem, getting the football to the open receiver as well. Even with a great offensive line.
So
at the end, even though we don't even know what our offensive line, that's why I said even with
we're going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Give me a second. What I will say here is. The pressure is on Malik Nabers in a really long season. So hopefully this guy can stay healthy. He's young. He's only 20. I understand that point. We did draft 20-year-old. So when we do finally get our quarterback in here, he hopefully will be 21 or 22.
He'll be fucking 30.
Hopefully we won't wait that long. With that being said, let's move on. We've been talking Giants for a long time. We're talking draft for a long time. About 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is not long enough. We are going to be talking about this throughout the week, guys. And yeah, me and Adam probably would have to maybe do another podcast for you guys throughout the week. Maybe a special where we cover more on that. And absolutely, Mac is invited. But for right now, you guys might have to wait till next week. Premium takes next week. But right now, we are going to touch on the NFL playoffs because I know there's been a lot of teams that's been absolutely, getting smashed. but also absolutely, put in the work. I'm gonna touch on Miami Heat, and I'm gonna let Adam touch on the team that he predicted that would smash in the Denver Nuggets. Shout out to Denver and doing what they're doing. And I would say this before I even touch on Miami Heat. I would say this. Not to take anything away from Adam, but I just want to congratulate like Denver Nuggets for showing up and doing what they're doing too, because this is the Lakers team that is being leading by 10 at one point, leading by 15 at some points in these games, and then they're not finishing. But we're gonna hold that thought. We're gonna let Adam cover that thought. I know a lot of Sixers fans are probably listening on Twitter, probably watching. If you guys are watching, not Sixers fans, I apologize. A lot of Knicks fans. Should I say Knicks fans? Why did I say Sixers fans? But I know a lot of Knicks fans wants to talk about Embiid. You want to talk about that game, but we're going to talk about that after probably be our closing subject. But let's talk about. I'm gonna just talk about it real fast and let Adam give some thoughts. The whole world basically does it to us all the time, and it doesn't matter because we're used to it. Us as Miami Heat fans, and I'm not saying we're gonna win the series, but like, to not even give us one game, to think the Boston Celtics was gonna come in and do this for the Heat, you out of your mind if you predicted that. This is Miami Nation. This is Miami Heat. We live for these playoff moments. Us as Miami Heat fans, we know, and we can not necessarily chill, but we're gonna be fighting in the playoffs every year that we make it. You know what I'm saying? So in the regular season, we may not do the greatest, right? We may not have the best record, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when it comes down to the playoffs, we damn show up. And when it comes down to roster development and when it comes down to player development, damn, we do a good job. And I just want to give another shout out to Eric, one of the best coaches in the whole NBA. You know what I'm saying? This guy, his ability to get these young players hyped up and ready to go out there and play the best team in basketball, a team that basically swallows everybody they play without their superstar in Jimmy Butler. Yes, we do have Bam there, but keep in mind, guys, we brought in Terry Rozier to be there in the playoffs, and that guy been hurt ever since the playoffs started. Nothing against him. He did some good shit in the regular season. Shout out to Terry. Hopefully he heals, get better. That being said, though, Jimmy Butler as well. So without Terry, without Jimmy Butler, nobody expected us to go out there and do what we do. But what we do is we did what we do. We go out there and we beat the Celtics at home. We beat the Celtics at homes with fucking rookies on the court and shit. Rookies that's been showing up, you know what I'm saying? They're not Victor. He's not Victor. But at the end of the day, he's been showing up. And second and first year, man, you know what I'm saying? Jokic, he's been showing up too. Jokic. That being said, though, Tyler Hero played a big part in that win as well. Bam played a big part in that win. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Morton is kind of coming on. And yes, we did lose Gabe Vincent. We did lose Max Struz. We lost homie Kyle Lowry. But at the end of the day, man, we are definitely competing with the Boston Celtics. And as we see down here, we got no Mets, cheering for your squad, the New York Knicks. Absolutely. You guys are dogs as well. Before I let Adam go about Miami Heat and then touch on the Nuggets and the Lakers, I want to touch on this real fast, and we're going to get back to it. This is going to be our closing topic, touching on the Knicks. You guys are like the Miami Heat. Your Brunson is like a Jimmy Butler. You guys are going to fight. Your coach is going to leave you out there, and you guys are going to play long minutes. You guys, I was watching that game when Randall went down mid-season, towards the end of the season and kind of mid-season, and then you guys had to go and fight without Randall. You guys had to go out there and fight for every minute, and then some guys that was secondary role players had to step up, and now best believe they were making me money on DraftKings because of the amount of minutes they were playing. The New York Knicks was the team to pick at points in the season on draft pick Kings. But that being said, regardless of that, you guys are definitely holding it down in the playoffs. But then again, you have other teams like Boston Celtics. Nothing against what I just talked about. They're still the best team to beat. They're still the beating team. We got one of them. That's hopefully we can go out there and get another. I'm talking just 2 games. Let alone beating them. If we beat the Celtics, I'm exploding. Let's just try to get one game at a time. Let's go back home. But you still got the Boston there. Hopefully we dispose of Boston for the sake of the whole fucking Eastern Conference. You guys better thank the Miami Heat if we dispose of Boston, but that's a long way to go. You still got Boston in there. You still got the Bucks. Even though the Pacers came back and won, I want to let Adam touch on that too. He picked Damian Lillard but out Giannis. But the boys in Penix Jr., the boys been showing up. You know what I'm saying? Brook Lopez, guys who necessarily coming off the bench or don't play that much minutes. Same like the Knicks had to go and step up in the absence of Giannis. And then you got other shooters as well stepping up. But that being said, I'm been holding the mic. I'm gonna let Adam touch on the Celtics, the Heat, touch on the Nuggets and the Lakers, touch on the Bucks and the Pacers. If you want to get into the Cavaliers and the Magic matchup, you can as well. Absolutely bomb series going down. Even though the Magic is a little bit of a younger team, them boys are holding it together. One thing I do want to say about the Magic, real fast before I pass the mic over to you, the Cavaliers have a roster, absolutely have a roster, and that roster is going to be hard to compete with and hard to overcome. But one thing I love about the Magic is they're a young team, and when one player of the Cavaliers is gets into the face of a Magic player, they huddle up. They just say, "Come, huddle up," and they just stay mentally focused on what they're trying to accomplish. And that's one thing you don't really see by younger teams. Sometimes the veteran team will get into the face of a younger player and then they want to yell and then they're getting the technical foul. You know what I'm saying? What you see with Magic is, hey, let's just huddle up. Let's just huddle up and they dispose and they walk away. So good thing on how they're handling that situations. And I just think that's kind of funny, but players of the Cavaliers are trying to get into the face and they'll just say, hey, come to the huddle, and they're just huddling up like it's football. I think that's pretty funny right there on the basketball court. But I'm gonna turn it into Adam. I'm gonna turn it over to Adam. I'm let him cover some of these games. I don't know if he was watching as much as I was, but I know he's been following as well, at least looking into it. So go right ahead, Adam.
I just want to mention that the Denver Nuggets are clapping the cheeks of the LA Lakers, and basically, I'm gonna say the series is all but done. All right, they probably will play game 4 and the Lakers will win, and then they'll go back home, play game 5, and it'll be kaputzi, right? Good night, the lights. I think it's the end of an era for the Lakers. I don't think LeBron retires, but I'm just saying there's only so much you can do with aging stars. And I said it the other night. AD went off, right? And the Lakers looked unstoppable. But somehow it's like when the Dallas Mavericks
that shot from Murray though, that buzzer beater was absolutely beautiful to watch.
The thing is like the Dallas Mavericks used to be this type of team where they would kind of lull you to sleep and you'd be up by 20, you'd think you're cruising to a victory, and then all of a sudden they turn it on, and next thing you know, you're losing in the blink of an eye. And that's what's happened with the Lakers. They were up by big, and then the Denver woke up, as they say, and they have two of the best players in the NBA, in Murray and Jokic, and they really complement each other well. They have good spacing. Their team is built very well. They have guys that can shoot, defend, and that's basically what you need. You need a well-balanced team. You need guys that you know that can come in and score at least 10 points a game a night. Because if you got one big scorer that scores you about 20, and you got 3 or 4 guys that can get you, 10 points each, you're there, right? And then you have another scorer that maybe gets you another 20. Let's say 20, 20, 40, and then you have those 3 or 4 guys that get you 10. You're at 80 points, right? 80, 90 points. And my point is that these guys.
Fast. Shout out to Green Bay selecting Marshawn Lloyd out of SC, guys. I want to say, man, this kid, he didn't really touch the ball that much, but when he did and he had the opportunity, obviously, we had Caleb Williams, reason being, but when he had the opportunity, when Nick and Riley actually fucking focused and utilized the run in college football, like, I don't know why he doesn't utilize the one more, but when Nick and Riley utilized the run, Marshawn Lloyd was our leading back this year for SC. Some people's best back in the draft. He falls to Green Bay in round 3, pick 88. Bomb choice for Green Bay. Continue, Adam.
So I'm just saying. I think Denver is. I think they might have some trouble with the Thunder, who are young and have nothing to lose.
The Thunder look dominant.
The Thunder.
But
it's funny because the Thunder look like
reigning champions.
It's funny because the Thunder look better now than when they had KD, Harden, and Westbrook. and that's funny to
when
say.
We beat them. Yes, when we beat them.
Right. And it's just funny back in the day.
Devon James, Chris Bosh, and
D-Wade. Right.
Mario Chalmers.
They took that Miami team to the brink, but they just
they did.
And Harden.
That was prime KD though. That was prime KD.
Well, Harden kind of fell off, and they didn't give the ball to KD, and Westbrook kind of hogged it, and they kind of fell apart.
No, it was greedy Westbrook.
But right now, I think they're a little bit better balanced team. Watching the Pelicans. You're there. Good job. High five. I just
kind of wish in that matchup that Zion wasn't hurt. As much as I wish Butler wasn't hurt.
It wouldn't really do much. I mean, it's good to
have. That is
strength,
true.
But it's not. True. Is Zion really? He's probably getting them from being swept. I don't think it's going to.
Oh, definitely. Stop the Thunder. Yeah. You're right on that. Yeah, the Thunders are going to win.
I think the most intriguing series right now is Clippers, Mavericks.
Yeah.
That one's an up and down series.
I can't believe I didn't even mention them.
I think that one's going to go 7, just because they're very well matched. Again, you have these are funky teams because these teams should.
I know I'm taking up too much of your time, but I'm going to say this. I'm sorry if I keep on jumping in, but I'm just so want to backhand the Clippers, bro. Like they have one of the better rosters
in the entire NBA.
Together in the NBA, bro,
and they can't do nothing with it,
dude.
They do nothing.
I don't know what
dude.
It is.
Every year, you're like up the Clippers. They got Kawhi Leonard, they got this, they got that, and they fucking are mid by the time they get to the playoffs. And now, I'm not saying the Mavericks are like a dysfunctional family out there. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
they got Luka. They got Luka. Luka's like, my turn.
Luka's looking at Kyrie like, what are you doing? Kyrie's looking at him like, what are you doing? I'm the star. No, you're the star. It's like, give me the fucking. Meanwhile, you got aging stars in the Clippers who show up every other night, like Paul George. Oh, he drops fucking 25. Kawhi Leonard up, he's fucking playing defense, and it's just like it's
two guys.
They're just a funny team. And you know who's underachieving right now and should probably be fired? It's the Phoenix Suns. Okay, your team is fucking stacked. You got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. You have two of the best scorers in the fucking game. And you're sixth in the Western Conference, and you're losing to the Timberwolves, who, by the way, have come out of nowhere.
Timberwolves are loaded, though.
Good for them. The Timberwolves sticking through with,
and they got Ant, because Ant ain't nobody to play with.
Carl Anthony Towns really kind of stuck with that franchise, has helped them out big time. It's good to see that he's getting the fruits of his labor. But let's flip it back over the Eastern Conference.
Ant, they got Goldberg.
Like right now, to me, coming out of the East in the Western Conference Finals, to me, are probably going to be the Thunder and the Nuggets. The matchup you want, 1 and 2, and then from there, I think they're going to win the NBA Finals, just because those two teams are stacked. Let's go over to the East, because this is the Boston Celtics. This is why I hate picking the Boston Celtics every year. They choke. They get like big dicks in their mouth and they just choke. It's like, what are you doing every year? You should be blowing the fucking heat out every game.
Every game.
You got two of the best scorers in the fucking league. And this is what you do, and you let them fucking hang around. This is why the Boston Celtics are probably going to lose this series, bro. I'm just saying. This is what happens. You let the fucking Miami Heat creep in. You got Jimmy Butler starts to get to rally the troops. He starts to feel it. He starts to get lathered up because he knows your fucking team, because he's playing you 7 games.
And when the fuck is out, though, he's on the bench hyping up the team.
Like, do that without Jimmy. Exactly, but if you do this without, that's what I'm saying. Celtics
without
choke.
Jimmy, bro. Without Terry.
Celtics choke. There's one thing that's going to happen every year.
Bro, we are starting a rookie and a first-year player.
See, this is why the Knicks have a chance to get to the NBA Finals, because the Celtics choke. Okay, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are young and fun, but experience will get there. I think the Pacers are playing a Bucks team. If the Bucks can fucking get it together and just get their heads out of their asses, they might be able to do something. But the Knicks have a clear path to getting there. Do I think they can match up with the West? Absolutely not.
Yeah,
but I think
that last year. We experienced that last year. It's scary out west.
When you go out west, man,
fucking scary.
The West is almost like the AFC when you talk about quarterbacks. Like, damn. You're like, damn. And you know what's funny? And not to get back to football, but someone who's like, the NFC is starting to get an arms race now, right? Like Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, they're all starting to come. And we're running it back with Daniel Jones.
DJ in the house.
I'm just saying. But look, this is why the NBA players are fun. I know there are games going on tonight and tomorrow night, but I really am going to put it to you like this. Celtics have a chance to get to the NBA Finals. And I do believe they're probably the one team in the East that can compete with both Thunder and
They definitely can.
And Denver.
Definitely can.
Everybody else, not that the Knicks can't, because the Knicks are scrappy, and that's what you like in a basketball team. But I think they'll take a team on the brink. Brunson's got to play out of his mind. It's kind of like the Rangers, right? When you get a good goalie and he's hot, you're fucking going to the Stanley Cup Finals. There's no doubt about it, right?
They have the dog, because I can say this. I do want you to finish it. I can say this because they have dogs like Miami Heat, but you're gonna need more than dogs to compete with the Thunder and the Nuggets.
Listen,
because they have players, even the Celtics. They have players that like you have Brunson and dogs, but Brunson's gonna need help. Jimmy needed help.
Here's the thing. The Celtics and the Bucks are finesse teams. All right. The Knicks play a brand of basketball that isn't for everybody. All right. Yeah. It's rugged, it's ruthless, it's wear you down, it's relentless type of basketball. That game too should have went to Philadelphia, but because the Knicks did not give up and did not quit, they stole that victory in game 2.
Absolutely.
Okay. And Deviljovich or whatever his name was hits the 3 at the end. Right, in 13 seconds to go. That shouldn't have happened. If they boxed out and did their normal fundamentals, they would have done it. But their Hartstein guy, I think that's what his name was, gets the rebound, get off the glass, offensive rebound, passes it out.
Yep.
The defense is out of position because they're trying to crash down the boards, and you have an open 3. So that Knicks play the brand of basketball that really translates well into victories. And you know what? No Mets. Maybe the Knicks do win the title. Maybe they do. But I do believe their brand of basketball, and it's not many teams play it anymore. That's why I think Denver's interesting, because they're physical. They play defense. That's one of their staples. They got length. They got power. They got guys going to the rim dunking on cats, right? Really, really getting there. And the Knicks are gritty. And if the Bucks, if Celtics can't get out of beating the Heat, they're going to have trouble with the Knicks. And I think the Bucks
most definitely.
I think the Bucks, if the Bucks can't put it together, are going to be. I'm not saying that. You can have the size to compete, but that center is fucking dope.
Here's the thing, though. How do you? Because I compare the Knicks right to the Miami Heat. I think they're pretty much similar organizations. You got Jimmy, you got Brunson. You know what I'm saying? You got dogs, we got dogs. Here's the thing. I look at it too, like in the first game against the Celtics, bro, they're able to streak. Like Miami Heat, we play good defense. We play great.
That'll keep you in any game.
We play great defense. +2. We're able to streak too. But when we streak, is different. Boston Celtics,
they go cold. They streak the other way.
Thunder, dude. Let's just talk about Boston right there. Like in the first 3 minutes of the first quarter of the first game, I knew it was fucking over. The score is like fucking in the first 2 minutes. The score is 14-0.
Right. That's what I'm telling you. The Celtics do that to themselves.
Three-pointer.
They don't. But see that.
Continue,
Adam. The Celtics aren't built to score fast. They're built to wear you down, have the 2 scorers, spread you out, make it a methodical game, play defense and put buckets in, and their defense will hold you, and you have to play catch up.
And if they start to not miss those buckets like game 1, it's a wrap before it even begins.
Right. So if they don't hit those shots, and you can get out to an early lead because they're not built to do that. They're not built to chase. They're built to impose.
Exactly. Then they get lazy. Then they get dismotivated. Right. Then we sneak a victory. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And then what happens is, because the thing is this, the mentality of Tatum and Brown are soft, right? You don't have any killers. They don't have killer instinct out there. You know why? Because they haven't cashed in. There's been plenty of time. There's been games with the Celtics. Tatum has been absolutely atrocious. And if he plays a good game, they win.
That's his problem. He fucking disappears too much.
And I love the kid. I think he's an all-star. But this is the reason what separates you from being great and just being another guy who's played in the NBA. Like Devin Booker is the same way. Tatum and Devin Booker are the same kind of players to me. They look good. They have the size. They'll put in buckets, but when I need them, when the game's on the line,
not fucking there.
Exactly. And
they're
that's
like LeBron James, but the difference is LeBron James is in his 20th fucking season. You know why Luka and even this kid Tyrese from the Pacers and even the kid Ant from Timberwolves. The reason I get it, they're different players, but they're in. Ant is like, yes, Ant has some games too, but majority of the time, let's just take Luka as an example. I know that's tough because it's Luka, but Luka. Dude, you watch this kid play, bro. This kid is never fucking taking a minute off, bro. Like, he's just, he maybe is sometimes to rest, but this kid is just fucking getting at it. I seen Taysom take the whole fucking second quarter off, like he's just comfortable because he plays for the Boston Celtics. Like, bro, you in the prime of your fucking career, you are considered as one of the best players, young players in the league, and you're taking time off. KD, James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Stephen Curry, when there was his age, there were dogs on the court. They never took time off. But you got Jason Tatum taking time off. Like, I don't understand.
I get it for a little bit, but it's really a soft mentality across all sports these days, right? We're very coddling of our athletes. It's just the way we are. It's just the way the athletes are programmed these days. They don't have the mental fortitude to yell at them, or they have to work harder than they normally do. And don't get me wrong, you deserve a day off, but Jordan's not taking a day off. The games, he can figure it out. They take a day off in the offseason.
In games, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, it's like, imagine if when Jason Tatum was coming up, like, I get it. It's not a Brandon Ingram situation, but shout out to Brandon Ingram because he revived his career and he's doing great with the Pelicans. So shout out to him. But if you look at Tatum, and I know you was really high on this kid too, we can both agree that, dude, if this kid really gave it his fucking all, I honestly think, dude, he would be in those Jokic, in those Giannis, in those Luka conversations. But the reason why he's not is
look at this shooting performance. Okay, 7 of 18 is not good. Okay, 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. He did get 10 rebounds. He did get 10 assists. And he did get 23 points, right? Which is good. Fine. That's a double. That's a triple double, which is great. They lost the game 1, right? Game 2, 28 points. Okay, better shooting night. 10 of 20, which is 50%. 2 of 6 from behind the arc. 8 rebounds, almost average another triple double, which is good. This is what you want to see. You want to see this guy be the points. Now the thing is, the ebb and flows of the game. Sometimes he puts his points in early, and then he doesn't have anything late. And I think also Jaylen Brown is a counter to Jason Tatum, because you look at Jaylen Brown, he actually carries the team, 33 points. You know what I mean? Like, he is the scorer, 70. Like, if the thing is this, if the Celtics have both guys doing badly, they're losing. If Tatum does poor and Brown does well, they usually lose. If they kind of are like this, 33 and 28. They both win.
But they went out there, right? They went out there and they grabbed like Porzingis. They grabbed Derek White. They grabbed all this shit, right? But at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying it didn't help them, because literally they could easily win the rest of the series and go to the finals and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it's like you looked at Steph Curry and you look at Klay Thompson in their prime, and it was fun to watch. It's like the rhythm that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum has should be like that, if not every minute, majority of the minutes that they're on the court. But no, it's not like that. They just want to stand around when Taysom should drive. And this is the ops telling you this. I'm watching the game. Jason, be aggressive. Drive to the hoop and lay up on this fucking guy. He's a guy that is literally off the bench of Miami. You know what I'm saying? I believe his name. I forget what it was. But at the end of the day, instead of just driving and being aggressive, he goes and he tries to shoot a shot that's not open. Like, just like literally dumb fucking choices in IQ knowledge of basketball. Like, go be aggressive. I'm not saying you're like a LeBron James aggressive, but at the end of the day, like, make smarter choices. Don't get lax.
And I think in order for Tatum to build a legacy, he's got to punch the ticket to at least the finals, right? Not, you can get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you can be Reggie, but unless you're like a Reggie Miller and you're dominating in games.
Where's Miami Heat, dog? Is his kryptonite.
Even Reggie Miller went to the finals at some point. You've got to cash that ticket in, because that's in basketball. Your legacy doesn't necessarily need to be a championship to be a good player. Like the standard is different than in the NFL. In the NFL, people don't think Philip Rivers is a Hall of Famer because they have a championship, even though he has Hall of Fame numbers. But Charles Barkley, is a Hall of Famer, even though he won one champion. He didn't win a championship, right? Who's another guy that didn't win? That was
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson, perfect example. Went to one finals, didn't win, but still a dog, right? Still a Hall of Fame player. I'm not taking anything away from Allen Iverson because he didn't win a championship. But anyways, that's my finals recap. I think it's gonna come down to Boston and
Quickly on the Suns right now, we've been multiple championships.
It's true. I'm just saying. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
I will say this though, like Boston and just mainly focused on Jason Tatum. Like, but we took you guys out of the playoffs last year. We eliminated your motherfuckers. Come in with why don't you playing us with some emotion and being mad? Like you're so like what Adam said, like they're playing us so soft, and maybe I'm jinxing us. Maybe that emotion comes out and they win the series 4-1. But at the end of the day, instead of this Boston Celtics coming out there and really being aggressive and taking it to the Heat and really, really owning the moment, you're the best team in basketball with the best record in basketball. And you let the 8 seed without a Jimmy Butler, without Terry Rozier, injured fucking roster shot the whole season, compete with you. I just don't understand. And give us hope, because all we need is hope. Because the next minute you give Miami Heat no hope, the next minute you're on the fucking couch watching the finals, watching the playoffs. So all we need is hope, because you and the Knicks. I would say you and the Knicks is a really, really tough matchup for the Heat. But and obviously the Celtics, I'm not gonna rule out the Bucks, I'm sorry, and the Cavaliers. But at the end of the day, the only team that I was scared of is Boston Celtics. Truly. I think we can compete with the Knicks, and I think it'll be a lovely 7-game series. I think the Knicks want revenge on us as well. And I think when we play the Knicks is not going to let up. I think the Knicks is going to come out there with fucking emotion and play the Miami Heat super fucking tough. But what Boston is showing up, if that Boston shows up tomorrow, they're losing. You can't go to South Beach with the energy, because South Beach is going to be in the building, and we're coming off of a win, and we're looking to continue that. We're looking to get you guys 3-1 heading back home to Boston. So we'll see what happens, but don't let the Heat go out there and beat you guys, Boston, because if you do, that's fucking embarrassing, because you guys have a roster to beat the Nuggets, and that stands for something, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to say, shout out to Miami Heat and Pat Riley again, because Pat Riley and Eric. I want to give a shout out to Eric. Yeah, Lakers wish Pat Riley, and I want to get on that comment too. Absolutely facts on that, Tommy. And then also, give a shout out to Eric, bro. That coach, like, fucking always standing up, always fucking involved, always fucking getting mad, yelling at the players when we're up by 10. He's getting mad at them because they're not playing defense good enough. Like, I love this coach, bro. That's one of the best coaches in basketball, and I know there's a lot of good ones. Adam, any other thoughts on the draft, on the playoffs, on anything? What you want the Giants to do in the 4th and 5th round before we head out of here?
The Giants draft has been pretty weak, but we'll see what happens. I'm not happy with it. I won't be happy with it. I still think we need a quarterback, no matter what. And I'm not rooting for Daniel Jones anymore. Malik Nabers, hope you have a great rookie season. But I don't think this Giants team is doing much these days, this going forward. But that's all I got, and we'll see.
Yeah, and I want to end this because I know we touched on it earlier, but we didn't talk about it. Like, I know a lot of Knicks fans has been complaining about the way Embiid has been playing. At the end of the day, guys, you guys just have to go out there and you guys got to just beat him on the court, no matter what finessing or what kind of stupid shit he's doing. He dropped 50 the other night. You got to give him credit for that. But I know I've seen some of the grabbing of the ankles and shit like that. At the end of the day, the Knicks are capable of beating the Sixers and handling the Sixers, and you guys continue to go and handle the Sixers. That being said, guys, appreciate you guys all for being here tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you, Tommy, holding it down in the chat. We had no Mets holding it down in the chat as well. We had The Miz in here. We had Tudo. We had our man Mac stopping by for a little bit. Shout out to him and Alex for hosting the draft on Alex's channel tonight. We had Daniel popping in early. We had Raphael in here. But without further ado, we're gonna throw our first up for our homie Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Always have to do that. That being said, guys, it's been another great edition of Premium Takes. Hopefully, we gave you guys some good knowledge on the Giants and then the organization and how we feel about us going a quarterback in round one and the rest of the draft and how it's panning out. Hopefully, we can go and not quarterback in round one. Sorry, a wide receiver in Malik Nabers. But that being said, guys, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. You guys have an amazing weekend. Enjoy the third day of the draft, no matter what team you guys have been rooting for. If you guys are going to be watching the UFC, it should be some fun fights. If you guys are going to be watching NASCAR, it should be a fun race. That being said, I don't know what other sports are on this week. I guess cornhole might be on TV. Stanley Cup playoffs is going on, so maybe some hockey. But that being said, we'll try to keep you guys updated in the latest world of sports. That being said, thank you guys always for holding it down with us on a Friday evening. Let's get it. Without further ado, I've been Zion Zenith. That's been Adam Costas, Premium Takes Crew. Mac will be here next week. Don't worry, guys. We'll have Mac back on the show next week. But let's get it. We out.